Hey, welcome back to another episode of Saran Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and as always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Yo, dude.
How you doing,
What's
man?
going on?
Nothing, bro. Fucking nothing. Why don't you back
Nothing?
off?
Okay.
Nothing
well,
is going on.
Fuck. Yeah, well, nothing's going on with me either. I just had a 5-day break from work. Felt incredible. Played The Last of Us 2. A very quick review. It's like a 9 out of 10. There were a couple of issues that I have with it. And it feels like The Road for 28 hours. The movie, The Road. Don't want to get into a whole lot because it's very controversial. And if you do talk about the plot, it spoils tons of things. People don't need to have it spoiled. Yeah.
Lucky for us, I don't know anything about it, so you were able to talk to me about it freely because I don't care.
Pretty much. But yeah, a lot of people don't like the plot. And it's a really controversial thing where people have been vocal about this. It's not like a out of nowhere thing. It's like there were leaks of what happens in the story a while ago. People caught wind of it. People were pissed. I stayed away from it, and I had a great time the whole game. And I thought it was fantastic. It was a marvel. It was beautiful to look at. It was so sad. It was everything that I wanted and didn't know I did. So there you go. There's my review. It's great.
Cool. This week we're talking about... we were going to do... We were going
to talk about Review Starlight.
Yeah, that's
which
what we're
is
going to do.
A show that you can watch on High Dive, but this is why we didn't do it. You can't watch it if you're using the app, and both of us planned on watching it. You watched it, or you wanted to watch it using
downstairs.
your phone.
I wanted to stream it to my TV. And then I looked and I was like, it's not fucking here. Trip's fucking crazy. And you're like, you're like, I saw 2 episodes of it. I know it exists.
I fucking watched it.
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes. I was fully invested, but I was planning that night that you hit me up and said, hey, it doesn't exist. I was like, yeah, it exists. I'm going to watch it on my iPad in bed. I'm not an idiot. And then as soon as I looked it up, I was like, I'll fucking screenshot him right now. And it didn't show shit. And then I was like, Starlight? And I was like, these things, not the one that you want. Like, but I want Review Starlight. What the fuck? Turns out if you go onto the browser of High Dive, you could watch Review Starlight. From what I saw, it's pretty good. We'll talk about it in the future.
Yeah.
So instead, we're reviewing A Whisker Away, which is the new movie that dropped on Netflix that people have been pretty excited about. I was excited about it. I didn't realize it was coming out so quick. And then here it is.
I knew nothing of it. I'm not going to lie. I knew that you suggested it. I found out it was a movie. You said Kate enjoyed it. I was like, cool. It's going to be trash. Kate has horrible taste.
Review. It was good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Good family movie.
Yeah. We'll talk about it later, though. Yeah.
You'll find out why.
Yeah, we'll find out why we're upset with The Last of Us Part 2.
No, you won't. You won't find out why I'm upset with it.
Dude, 5 days off. That's awesome. I bet that felt really good. Yeah.
I've been on call for about 4 months. Still was during this time. So it was like, I sure hope that I don't get called out during this really traumatic cutscene really quick here. And fortunately I didn't. I lucked out, dude.
Can't you just hit pause? That's how it works, right? Hit pause on your dumb games and you're okay.
Yeah, but the momentum of the story is one of the reasons that I took 5 days off, you know?
Yeah. Did you intentionally plan this though, like for a while though?
As soon as I did my June schedule, I realized I fucked up because I think The Last of Us comes out in June, right? And then it did, so I was like, I'll take off 5 days. I would take off about 5 days to go and see Tom if, the pandemic
wasn't happening yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would use it. I'm going to use it now. Let's fucking do it.
So you used it for a more useful, reason as opposed to seeing your dumb friend Tom, hey Tom, and his awesome girlfriend. Oh, fuck. Because I always mess this up. I always want to say Diana, and I feel like that's wrong.
No, you're not. That's perfect. It's Diana.
Diana. What up, D-bag?
There you go. At least you remember that. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, we've got a friend, Andrew Juan, who works at Netflix. Anyways, he was up here for New Year's.
Was he? Was he though? You fucking piece of shit, Andrew Juan. He didn't come to the party
for a little bit. No, he wanted to, but he couldn't. whatever.
Hate him.
But he showed up for like a minute, a day or two before New Year's. Anyways, he comes in and he was excited to see Tom, and he was like, "Hey, Teabag," and then he saw Diana. He's like, "Hey, D-Bag." And then immediately felt bad about it. I loved it.
Yeah, because she's like the nicest person ever, so it's kind of hard to say mean things to her.
It was really funny.
Yeah, so I'm sure, I feel like you used your time wisely, especially in the current climate of the world where it's like, I don't expect you to actually go to several states over to go see your friend. Because he did come see you, and you guys had to be like 6 feet apart or whatever, right? Like you saw him through the door.
That's what happened. We were sitting on our patio very far from each other. It was a great time, but it was also like the hardest goodbye because it's like we don't even get to see each other. We can't hug each other.
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to see your boy and not instantly want to make out with them. So
it's so it's rough, dude. So those are rough times.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all that I've been up to though. It's just The Last of Us 2. Yesterday was a pretty chill day. I just hung out. Watched some 30 Rock as I do. Mm-hmm. Played some Animal Crossing. Got all caught up on Animal Crossing.
Yeah, good, nice.
Meaning that I've caught all the fish and the bugs for this
the month. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a good time. Oh, a villager moved out that I've been wanting to move out. Sprinkle. She's great, and I wish I could have kept her, but her house sucked. So needed to get somebody new. Here, let me explain this to you. Juan.
I do want to understand because I don't understand what you're like. Her house was trash.
So Sierra hates Flip.
Oh yeah, she really hates him.
Flip is this workout monkey. That's all he is. He's nothing special. She hates him. I don't quite get that, but that's fine. I wouldn't hate him, but I would want him to move out really bad for the same reason as Sprinkle. Your first 5 villagers out of 10 get shitty houses. Mm-hmm. They just do. Doesn't match their personality. It's very just like, what's happening? So then when you get to you see people online post pictures of these same characters inside of this fucking dope house. You don't get that? That's fucked up, man.
You feel bad, yeah.
It's fucked up. So finally Sprinkle's like, hey, I'm going to move. So I looked around for a while and I got this this antelope dude named Bo. And he seems pretty cool. He's got a cool little house that looks like a prairie. I'm into it.
Cool. Well, I'm glad that your tenant left. And there's no hard feelings. I feel bad for
That's great.
What's his name of the monkey that Sierra hates?
Flip.
Yeah, I feel bad for Flip because Sierra like really wants him to leave, and so she treats him very poorly. And every day she'll like beat him with her net, and it's funny to see, but it does make me really sad because she just whacks at him until like he like until he's like starts like the sad emoji, and it's like, oh come on, man, come on. But what are you gonna do?
Real bad.
Feels bad.
But. Anyways, I haven't played Animal Crossing much at all this month, so this is like the 3rd time I played it, and I was like, yeah, it'll be fun. So I pretty much had an Animal Crossing day yesterday, and then I played some more Terraria today. We're almost done. We are pretty much at the last boss. So Kyle can summon a dragon, and I could shoot, I don't even know what they are, like galaxies, black holes at things. I don't know.
Do you still spawn eyeballs or whatever?
Yeah, I got some eyeballs to spawn. Kyle's just shooting like a magic gun while his dragon attacks shit. And I'm shooting black holes at people and spraying them with Christmas tree needles. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sounds really fucking dumb also.
It is really dumb. The gameplay of it feels really satisfying. There's something about you have to go and do all these things before you could even fight the boss. So you go and accomplish all that and you fight the boss and you get these huge rewards. And you feel so much stronger and better and you keep going. And each boss fight is very different from each other. So we did a couple tonight. We mostly just did special events like the Halloween event and the Christmas event. We did those a couple of times. And we tried to summon this special magical light fairy boss. You have to find this rare little butterfly that sometimes shoots out a bunch of colors. And then you kill it. And when you kill it, the fairy comes to seek revenge. and it just shoots all kinds of beams of light at you, and it was very scary, and we didn't beat it. We accidentally summoned a shit ton of like these corrupted pillars, these lunar pillars, which once you destroy all those, it summons an old god, and then that's the end of the game. You fight that. Went and fought a golem inside of a cave. Just had a good time with your boy, you know?
That's cool, man. I'm glad that you're able to take, a break from your gameage to do other gameage. So
yeah, it's really important to me that I play games. So yeah, man, it's been fun. What have you been up to?
Man,
I'm just gamer.
It's been a week, okay? So last time we did the pod, I was rocking off a hotspot.
First off, we always stream our podcasts when we're doing it separately now. Mm-hmm. So last week we couldn't do that because you didn't have internet.
I didn't have internet, and
we didn't want to fuck with the. I was pissed because you should have internet just because
this is America.
Everyone should have internet. Yeah. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's in the Constitution.
So I was pissed about that, but going into this whole situation, I didn't want to fuck it up just in case.
And it did.
You were doing some.
It happened twice.
It's still fucked up.
Twice that my shit got disconnected from me. And I was just like, well, I'm glad that we didn't stream it for the.
I just don't want to. Yeah. Because if something fucks up on my end, that sucks. I'm not even supposed to have problems. But you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. We always have technical problems. So you went off of a hotspot.
Yeah. So, but he finally got the internet to work. The guy came. He was very like, I don't know, chill. He's just like, hey, man, I'm supposed to come in. He's like, you're supposed to wear a mask around me. If you don't want to wear a mask around me, but I don't care. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad you're taking this serious.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, man, I need the router upstairs because I need it to hardwire into my computer so that way I can video stream easier for class and stuff like that. And he's just like, cool. And I was like, also, like, what would you recommend if, like, how do I hardwire my PlayStation that's downstairs, like, if I want to play games? And he's just like, yeah, man, I don't know how to do that. I was like, really? You're the internet guy. He's like, you could run a wire from like the top to the bottom. I was like, cool. And he goes like, but I don't know how to do that. I was just like, so what do you recommend? He's like, you could just like get a really long wire and like snake it all the way down. I was just like, cool, down my 2-story apartment. I mean, house. I was like, yeah, that's what I didn't want to do. That's why I talked to you about it. And he's just like, yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you. I was just like, who's the guy who would know to tell me? I was just like, all right, do your fucking job. Just make the internet, set up the cable, go away. And,
it sucks. I mean, internet issues are such a pain in the ass. And then it sucks when you can't have good internet in your own house because it's only like you have to throw cables everywhere.
Yeah.
Or like drill a hole through the ground.
Which I don't know how to do. And I was like, cool, you're the cable guy. I assume you know how to do this. And he goes like, don't know how. Even if I did, he's like, even if I did, I don't have the equipment too. I was just like, well, how do you know that? How do you know you don't have the equipment if you don't even know how you would do it? He's like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, you just don't care. Fuck, set up my shit. Get the fuck out of my house. And he did.
I mean, realistically, there's no way to help you if you don't have that kind of internet hookup downstairs already.
Which I do. I do have the internet hookups downstairs.
Well, then what the fuck? You can't use 2 modems or some shit?
No, he's like, nah, 2 modems don't work. I was like, you know what? Fucking set up my internet. Get the fuck out of my house. I just need the internet to work. So that got taken care of. I was really happy. The last few days of last week were also my last days of my class. So it was a lot of...
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a lot of animating, just making sure everything was done on time for Saturday.
Which is also why we did Final Fantasy Advent Children.
Yeah, it's something a little easier.
Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, let's watch 12 episodes, especially when Juan's super fucking busy. It's just like, Juan's moving, doesn't have internet, and he's like, it's his last week of school. Let's watch a
2-hour movie. Let's go.
Let's watch a really old Final Fantasy movie. And we're both just like, that was fucking dumb. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, dumb things are good sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like a fucking... It's not going to win any fucking Oscars, but there's some dope...
For animation at that time, though, it totally could have,
yeah,
right?
Maybe, yeah. Anyways, got that set up. I was able to, get my animations done. Saturday morning, I had my class. We did a thing where we did he said, like, we all came together. He did, like, final words, like, hey, like, these are some words of encouragement. And then he broke us up into like individual rooms, like in Zoom. And like, he was going to go one-on-one with us and be like, hey, you passed, you failed. Cause it's pass or fail. It's not like, it's like, they don't give you credit. It's like, either you're going to keep going forward or you're not,
Dude, how crazy would it be if you just told us on the podcast that you failed right now?
Well, guys, have some news.
Exactly. It's just like, you don't need to talk about this. We didn't need to do this on podcast.
Well, obviously, everyone wants to know how poorly I failed. No, so
so how bad did you blow it?
So he does his last words. He does like a group picture. I was like, this is nice to take the group picture before, he tells people whether they pass or fail. That way they're like optimistic. The thing is, you can see who's going to pass and fail, kind of like you've seen everybody's work and you kind of have a feeling like there's one girl I know for sure didn't pass. And it's not because she was bad. It was just because because no one's good. Actually, there was one kid in our class who she's amazing, but she already works in the industry. She already has a job in Canada.
Yeah, this is more so just for like refinement or something.
Yeah. Well, she taught herself, so she doesn't know like industry terms, and she doesn't know
she got in the biz, but she's not.
So like and her bosses will tell her something like, "Hey, add this and add that, like work on your body mechanics." And she's just like, "I don't know what the fuck that means." English is also her second language, so it's also a barrier.
That's hard, yeah.
But she is very talented, so we all know that, and the teacher knows that and pushes her even more. But we're like, cool. There's no way she's not passing, like fucking for sure. But there's one girl in class, like she had a rough go. It didn't look. Most of her assignments just had so many like notes given to her, and like there was some that like we only had 3 assignments the entire semester, so it's like you have to nail them all because. They're all big chunks of your grade. There's like little assignments like check-ins, but they're all only worth 1% of your grade. And then like first assignments were 23, second assignments were like 25, and the last assignments like were 35. So like they're all weighted that way. So it's like if you kind of look at them, you go, well, that one was bad, and that one was bad, and that one was bad. There's no way you're gonna pass. So I know for sure she didn't make it. There's another girl I'm not too sure about. I thought she was a good animator, but she just had some huge amounts of technical difficulties with their last assignment. Like. When like during her
technical shit,
during her demo bit, like he's just like he opens up their Maya file and just like, so what are we looking for? And she's like, I can't get this to work. And he looks at it and he goes like, and because we're all learning, we all have different workflows, but he's just like, oh my god, like you can see on his face like this is a mess. Like what? She's like digging through like all the like the fucking the Matrix. He's like, what is this? I was like, so, but I had a feeling. You know what? I think I did good enough to pass. Like now I'm not like saying like I was top of the class, but I felt good. Like I went to bed Saturday night really late, and I'll tell you what. But and I woke up Saturday morning being like, you know what? I feel good. I feel like there's not like I just really doubt he's gonna be like, hey man, you didn't pass. So he doesn't fucking mince words. He breaks up into groups. I'm the first one up, and he just goes, oh, here's we make a demo reel. He plays it like, there's your demo reel. It's like, okay. And he goes, yeah, it's a pass for me, Juan. And he said it like so like that. I was just like, is he going to say no? And he's like, yeah. He goes, it's a pass for me. You did great. Work on this. You're good at this stuff. Improve this stuff. Any questions? And I was just like, yeah, of course I have a million questions, but we have like a short allotted time. So I was like,
yeah,
what do you think about this? Oh, what are your thoughts here? Can I get your advice in the future? Like stuff like that. And he's just like, cool. And he goes like, hey man, feel free to go back to the Zoom room where you're individually by yourself and wait for everybody else to get their critique and just like say goodbye at the end, or just kind of exit the thing. I was like, I'm going to go to bed because it's like 9 a.m. and I'm really tired because
you stayed up all night finishing your project.
Not only that, at 3 a.m, I was like, I stopped animating at 3 a.m. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to submit everything. And I had trouble submitting stuff because I don't know. It was just like, maybe my brain was fried. I just couldn't get it all to work. And I finally had it done. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch one more episode of the thing that I've been like watching, right? And it's like, just to like kind of relax. And then I'm going to go to bed. Because I have to wake up at 9 anyways. So I'd have like, if I go to bed at 4, I'll have like 5 hours of sleep, right? And then I'm going to go to bed. And I was like, you know what? I actually got to go to the bathroom first. I've been up enough where like, I should probably go poop. Because if I don't, I'm not going to sleep comfortably. So I'm pooping or whatever. And then I hear like a loud noise. And I was like, is that the fucking neighbors? Like, and I go, it is almost 4 a.m. Maybe they're getting up to go to work or something, And I was like, what could that be? And then I hear it again. I'm like, that's someone knocking on my fucking front door. And I was like, what? So I like quickly like, get up, wipe, flush. I was like, pull up my boxers. Because at that point, I'm just in my underwear,
Yeah.
I go into the hallway and Sierra's like in the hallway upstairs and she's been asleep for like 6 hours now, and she's
right.
like, I'm like, yo, like, is that the front door? She's like, I think so. So then we walk downstairs and then we hear the knock again. I was just like, oh, that's for sure the front door. Like there's someone there. And I don't know if I told you this, but our new place doesn't have a peephole or a window facing out forward. So there's no way to see who's in front. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to find out who this is, because no one just knocks at your door this early in the morning. I don't know what it was. And I've been giving Sarah a hard time about this because I just like giving her a hard time. But she was like half awake or half asleep or whatever. So she kind of just opens the door and I like push it closed. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
you go, who is it?
Exactly. And I was just like, so I go
4 a.m. Who the fuck is this?
Yeah, so I go like I push the door, like holding the doors, like, and I go, who is it? And they go, police. And I go, okay, now we open the door. I was like, like what's going on? Open the door, and they have like flashlights pointing at us, and there's 2 cops there. And I'm like, and I'm in my underwear, and I go, what the fuck? And then it's like, it took me like, the flashlights came down a little bit. It took like 2 seconds, and I see the police officer, and I go, oh, Eric. And he goes, oh, hey, Juan. It's like, it's our friend from middle school that we've known forever. Like, how are you doing, Officer Fuchs? At 4 a.m. He's just like, and so he's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's figure this out. You know, it's like, and he goes, hey, does so-and-so live here? It's like, no, they do not. He goes like, do you guys have any roommates? And they go, no. It's like we just moved in a week ago or whatever. And he goes like, okay, sorry. He goes like, we found an abandoned car that's on fire at the airport, and the registration's at this apartment. And we go, or, you know, at this address, and we go, yeah, that's not us. And he goes like, I'm sorry to wake you guys up, you know, sorry, you know, goodbye or whatever. And it's like, closes the door, and it's like, well, shit, that's one way to start your Saturday. And, you know, we go upstairs, and, you know, Sierra reminds me that actually that same day, the old tenant had come to our house at 9 o'clock at night to ask if we had her mail. So I was like, at that point, Sierra had already taken the mail to the post office, because she talked to the property manager. It's like, hey, just get to the post office. Don't worry about it, right? That's how they should do it, you know? So this person shows up, and like this person talks to Sierra, and I was like, well, I didn't see her because I was upstairs. She's like, yeah, she's like a hippie chick, had like weird vibes to her, and she was like, didn't say her name. She just said, hey, I was the old tenant here. I lived here since I was like 10. So this place has like a special place in my heart. And I was like, now I'm like fucking worried this bitch is gonna show up to my house and like, you know, hide in my closet and then try to kill me. So that was fun. That was Saturday. Could you fucking believe that? That was Saturday, which is great.
Do you have like those? Do you have any rods or anything that you could put in your windows to make sure that they like stay locked and nobody can fuck around?
No, but like
otherwise they break in and you hear it. So
yeah, for sure. But there's no way to get into the backyard because there's no like gate to go through. You could hop the fence, I guess. And then
you could do it quietly.
Yeah, and then there's no window. There's only one window that actually faces outside. So it's like, yeah, maybe we could get a rod. Anyways, that was weird. So that was Saturday. Found out I passed the class. Went back to bed. Turned off. What else happened?
Weird.
Yeah. Okay, and so then it's fucking Sunday. You know, it's Father's Day. We go over to Sierra's dad, who lives like down the street, and have dinner, whatever. And then we come back super late. I was playing a board game with them. It was Villainous, which is like a game about like the Disney. Yeah. It was so fucking like not convoluted. It's just like there's so many parts to it.
It's complicated. I really want to play it with people.
It's a lot of fun.
And yeah,
I really enjoyed it. The thing is, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I mean, and my brother-in-law,
because each villain has their own motive,
goals, yeah, their own things,
and you don't know what the other people's cards are because they're all specific to
them,
the character.
We do know what really the other person's motive is, like what their goal is, right? But we don't know
how they're going to get there or what kind of cards they have that are going to allow them those steps.
Exactly. So
yeah, I want to play it, but it seems like you all kind of need to know the game.
Yeah, but it was
like pretty well.
But it was easy to pick up actually. Like I was like, we picked it up and we started playing. But the thing is, Sierra's brother-in-law and you know her sister were the ones. It's their game. They're the one that presented it to us. And like, do you want to play? And this is after dinner. We're like, yeah, sure. And there were 6 of us playing, so it lasted till like 10, almost 11 o'clock at night. Ugh. And Sierra had work the next day, so she just like, hey, just go home, Sierra. Like, I'll walk home. You know, like it's not that far. So I come home. It's been late. I've been drinking because it's like a Father's Day. Who the fuck cares? I'm hanging out downstairs. I finally decide to go to bed, and I walk upstairs and like I think close the door to my room, and I feel the ground like on the carpet upstairs, and I go, oh, it's fucking wet. Like I stepped in something wet, and I go, oh shit, did the dog piss up here? It was like, you know, I did.
That would be my first thought. Yeah.
I was like, I didn't see her for a bit. She could have snuck up, and Peter's like, that sucks. And so then like I like leaned down to see, like try to touch it, but like, is it really pee? It didn't smell like pee. It wasn't like the feeling of pee. It just felt like cold water. It's like no dog pisses cold water unless it's been up here for hours, right? And I'm bending over, and then I feel a fucking drip from above, and I look up. And there's just like this, there's just like the light.
Sagging.
Yeah, the sagging bit.
Oh, the light fixture. Yeah.
The light fixture is full of water. And then there's a sagging bit of paint where there's like a water bubble had formed. And I go, what the fuck happened? You know, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I was like, It's also like 2, 3 in the morning. I was like, I'm gonna.
Okay, I was like, why didn't you hit me 2 and 3 in the morning?
Yeah,
I thought it was like midnight.
No, because I came home from playing the board game super late. I stayed downstairs and like I watched some TV and I fell asleep and then woke up. It's like, well, it's time to go to bed actually. But it was super late when I came upstairs, and I was like, I'm gonna put the hamper that I have here that has like a bunch of dirty towels and just have it catch the water. I was like, and then I'll just text Sierra to let her know, hey, in the morning, hit up property management, because this is not okay. This needs to get fixed. Luckily she does. They come out. It looks like I don't know what it's called, but it's like the catching guard underneath the AC. You know, like there's like there's like a metal sheet.
It's called a drip tray. Yeah.
The drip tray had rusted out.
It rusted. Because what happens a lot is it gets too full.
Yeah.
And then the lines get kind of clogged.
Mm-hmm.
So
that also happened.
Yeah, I figured that's kind of what started it, but yours was rusted. So yeah, sometimes when it gets too full, it'll overflow and it'll drip somewhere weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they blasted out the lines and then they replaced the tray. And do they have to do patchwork on the ceiling?
They did not do any of that thing. The guy came over. He said, okay, because he's the guy that's in charge of all the maintenance. He's like, I know the situation. He goes like, the thing is clogged and I can clearly see that the tray is rusted out. It's like, so he was able to take, clean up the water bit at the top, like take off like the bubble, burst it, remove the lights, remove like the fixtures, get all that water out. And he's just like, hey, I put like right there, I put a temporary like tray to catch water. He goes like, but I'm going to call the AC guy to come, because they have an AC guy, right? He goes like, and I'm going to call the carpet guy because this carpet needs to get replaced because there's now rust in the water that is now in the carpet that's also can be like, I was like, cool, let's have that all happen. The AC guy shows up around 2, and he's just like, all right, I'm here. He's like, go upstairs, check the thing out. He comes down, he's like, hey, we cleaned out the line thing, so now the water should be flowing out. I was like, your pan is still rusted, and this other thing is also broken. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, what are we doing? He's like, I can't fix this. I have to fix this first thing in the morning. I was like, okay. And I was like, cool, tomorrow morning. And he goes, but I can't do it tomorrow morning. It's like, I have to do it later in the week. I was just like, well, when? He goes like, I don't know. It's like, well, what the fuck? So he's just like,
that's how our AC people are too. We're like, all right, how long is it going to take? And they're like, don't know. And you're like, why don't you know? And it's like, because we have to wait on the part. It's like,
I go,
well, then what's the estimated delivery? They're like,
when to get
could be a day, could be 3 weeks. And you're like,
exactly.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm not like mad because like it's like no one's fault. It just kind of happened, right? And
it's just unfortunate.
And I'm trying to be understanding, and he's just like, and he keeps hacking at he goes like, it's really hot up there. It's like 100 degrees this week, and I was up there for 5 minutes, and like I'm drenched in sweat. And I'm like, dude, old man, I don't expect you to go up there and slave. Like I understand you want to do this in the morning because it's going to be less hot and you can get your job done.
I would like an estimate of
I just
what
want to
morning and what time-ish. Like, is this going to be a 6 a.m. or is this going to be an 8 a.m.?
Which doesn't even matter. I'm just like, just tell me when you're going to come and fix this.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know. And they go, great, that is fucking useless information to me. He's just like, your AC works though? I was like, appreciate it, because it was off because they were trying to fix it.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah.
He goes like, your AC works. He goes, there's like a temporary just bin up there that's collecting water, because
that's
condensation
and shit. Temporary.
I was like, cool. Yeah. He goes, you might have to go in there check twice a day to see how full it is. And I was like, okay. So I brought a ladder and I go up there in the morning and I go, cool, it's not that full. Yesterday I had to empty it because it was halfway full. Today hasn't been that full. I guess it wasn't as hot, but it's on me to empty this thing out and make sure it doesn't fucking overflow. And the carpet guy didn't even show up, and I was like, fucking carpet guy shouldn't show up. They should fucking fix the AC and then the carpet should be replaced. Because what's the fuck's the point? Why would you replace the carpet and the thing's not fixed? So
I don't understand why they are replacing the carpet at all. At that point, maintenance should say, hey, this is going to leave a rust stain. That's it. There's rust in the carpet, but it's not like that's going to fuck you up, because once it dries, you just vacuum it. Instead, there's just the color that's left behind.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He wants to he wants to replace the carpet, which I'm like, crazy. Cool, I don't fucking care. I want the AC to work. I don't want to have to go up there twice a day to see if things full. So that's been super shitty. And that was my weekend. Can you believe it? Besides that, I watched some anime that isn't current anime, but we can talk about that when we talk about anime. I also watched a movie called The Witch Part 1 something.
The Witch?
The Witch. It's a Korean film. Came out in 2018. I came across it on like Facebook or Instagram. They're like, hey, check out The Witch. And it's like John Wick meets the Hunger Games. And I'm like, cool. I like both those things.
Great. Yeah, that sounds like an amazing time.
I was like, I would like to see this. And it's not super old. And I'm used to subtitles. Like, okay, let's check it out. It's on Netflix. So I check it out. It's like 2 hours long. And I was like, okay. I enjoyed it. I would say it's more like John Wick meets Brightburn. Like, that's what it's like.
Where the fuck? Because that's very different.
Yeah.
Brightburn and the Hunger Games, two totally separate
I don't get what
entities.
And the thing is, I'm sitting there the whole time watching. I was like, when does it get Hunger Games?
Yeah.
You know,
when do they all start fighting each other? When is it a survival thing?
Yeah.
Or like, what's gonna?
And the thing is, it doesn't really ever become one. I think Brightburn is more apt because it is like there are superpowers involved, and like you don't really know people's motives, and like, you know, it's good. I actually really enjoyed it. It is I don't know, the pacing did feel weird. Like I would say for the first like 30 minutes I'm just like, oh man, something's gonna happen, and like they keep teasing at something happening and then nothing happens. I go, they're really fucking with me. It's like something better fucking happen. And then when shit starts happening I go, oh my god, shit needs to stop happening. It is too much right now. But it was a good movie. If you like foreign movies and you want to see some really like brutal like fight scenes with like some superpower elements in it, or check it out. The Witch Part 1 came out, like I said, 2018. There's supposed to be a part 2, but they haven't like announced it yet. The people's best guess is 2021. So I was like, okay, well, maybe that's gonna get pushed back because nothing's happening anywhere. And anyways, so and besides that, the last thing I've been doing this week is my friend Kyle, what up, Partlow,
yo,
started first everything just snapping us beers, like for beer reviews. He'd be like, hey guys, I got this sour from, and like
every white guy goes through that phase where he just
starts reviewing beers, and he'll send it to us, and they're pretty funny because like I want to say his scores were just really I don't know, up there. Like he'd be like, oh wow, he got like a sour.
You're like, they're all tens. What the fuck's happening?
Yeah, no, it's like he'd get like a sour beer, and he likes sours, and he's just like, oh man, great. He goes, I could drink the shit out of this. 9 out of 10. I go, 9 out of 10? Like, what? And so he kept doing
like
it.
That reaction didn't meet what I think a 9 is.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right. So then like I was like, all right, I'm fucking sick of him doing it. I'm gonna show him how it's done. So I got a beer. I was like, I'm gonna review the fuck out of this beer. I give it like I would say a fair score. I go like, you know what? That's I was like, that's a 7. That's like a good beer. I drink it again. It wasn't like amazing or anything, you know, like that's a respectable number. And then I made another one. It got like a 3. And then I made another one. It got like a 5. And then Kyle's still going really high. And then me and Sierra like call him out on one of my reviews. Like, I fucking Kyle doesn't know how to review shit. And then he got like, he didn't get upset, but he was like, hey man, this is just my opinion. I was like, yeah, well, your opinion fucking sucks. Dude, I was just like, and I was like, it's just like not consistent. Like, I was like, if 10 is the perfect beer and a 1 is fucking utter trash, like you're saying a lot of them are 9s and 8s, like that's really high. Like, and he's like, okay, let's do this right. So then we made a scale system, 10 through 1, and we went and described what we thought was a 10 through 1. And then like we'll take pictures and document it, you know, like this is what we thought of it. And then we're like, now Josh is in on it. We're all having a good time. And then Josh is like, yeah, we should like put this together. And I was like, oh, Google Doc, no, Google Sheet. And Kyle's like, I'm on it. So today dropped the Josh called it the Beer Bible. The Kyle named it Beers with the Boys. So I was like, cool. It's just a way for us to record the beers that we have. And the funny thing is that Hot Shot's also a part of this group Snapchat that used to be basketball boys, because we would play ball together, like, hey, when are you playing or whatever? But we don't play ball anymore. So it's just like, it's become this beer thing. And so Hot Shot's just sitting there being like, yup, cool, all right. And we're like, Hot Shot, you got to get on it. And I was just like, I don't like beer. I was like, I can review some water. Like, no, man, it's not the spirit. But he's like, but he's not, you know, harshing our mellow. He's like, hey man, if you guys want to do that, I will gladly sit here and watch you guys sip some beer and like talk about him. And we don't know what we're talking about. We just go, yeah, it's pretty good, man. Yeah, 7. Nice. High five. You know, so, but it's just fun. It's something, I think it's
I want to see his reviews of water personally. Different kinds. Just like, all right, so my tap water is this, but my filtered water is this. I have an Arizona iced tea to cleanse my palate.
He would actually be really good at that, because he doesn't drink soda. He doesn't drink juice. He almost only exclusively drinks water, and I've never seen him drink as much water as he does. Like even during our classes, he'll just be like, he just brings out his giant clink and he's like, cluck, 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 cluck. And I'm like, hey man, you gonna get a soda? He's like, nope, don't drink soda. Just like, I'm a really thirsty boy. I just love water. And I go, all right, fucking weirdo. I like water too.
It's great,
but not as much as him. But anyways, yeah, it's just cool to do something with my friends that doesn't mean anything to anyone, just like it's stupid and just we get a kick out of it.
But if it means anything to any of you listening or watching or whatever, let us know and Juan will send you their
I'll send you
Google sheet.
I'll send
privated,
you the sheet. Exactly.
Can't edit it.
Privated, not edited. But if you would like to see us what we've scored them and obviously they all vary because like even though we made this score, Kyle still I feel like his numbers are still higher than what I would think are. But you know what? It's his fucking palate. I'm not gonna fucking blame him. I had one of the worst beers ever though. I had this. It was called Jackrabbit. That's the name of the brewing company. It was a strawberry white ale, which I've never fucking heard of a white ale. It was fucking ass. It was so bad. And I was drinking it and I was like, oh man, like maybe I should like. I had like a few sips for the review and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna try to chug it. That way I don't like waste it. Because I did pay money for this. I was like. And beer is beer. So then I go, all right, here we go. And I hadn't chugged anything in a long time. I used to chug a lot in college. Yeah. And I try to chug it and I can't fucking do it. Like I do it and it's like, and then like my mouth closes up and I get all full and I go, like my eyes get all big. And then I put it down and I go, oh man, that was rough. I can't do it. So I had to like slowly sip this fucking beer. I was like,
is that a 1?
No, it was a 3 because it was a 3 when I first gave it the review, but after the new scaling, it's at a 2.5. Because I've had the one beer out at the bar once, like at the handlebar, and I go, nothing has ever been that bad. Like I've never had a beer at that. It was so bad, Trip.
What kind was it? Tell me about it.
It was a British Bulldog brewing company, which is here from Chico.
Okay. I do know British. They're from Chico?
Yeah, they're from Chico. And it was this beer that was supposed to be smoky. It was like something smokehouse cigar room. It tasted like dangerous. Tasted like a liquid ashtray. It was so fucking brutal. I know, it was horrible. And I knew it was bad because like when we were asking for samples, like he's like, hey, can I taste it? And the guy that's like bartender's like, you want to taste it? He goes like, okay. He goes like, it's bad. I go like, yeah, I don't care. I just want to give it a sip. And like
he tells you like, you want to taste this bad beer? Okay.
And he pulls the handle and he just holds it for like 5 solid seconds without putting the glass underneath. And he's looking at me and I'm looking at him and he just like, I'm letting the pipes clear through. And he's just like trying to get rid of it because no one will buy it, because he can't give it away, but he's just like, oh, accidentally overpouring. So he'll pour a little bit and like give me some. And I tried it and it was so bad that then we spent the rest of the time that we were at the bar. And when new people would show up, like, hey, you guys want to try a really bad beer? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. And so we're like, hey, they want to try that really shitty beer. And so then he would like hold the keg down, like to let it pour out for like drain for 10 seconds and like give a little sample. Like, here you go. And people would be like, yeah, that is really fucking bad. It's like that's like the worst beer I've ever had. It was horrible. I would never drinking it again. But I can't. That's why like this white ale was like, it's a 2.5. Like I would drink it.
I've had way worse.
Yeah, I've had worse. Like, but like at that scale, I was like, if like it's better than a Rolling Rock, like I would drink that over a Rolling Rock. I would drink that over a Kirkland Light. But like, would I actively like suggest like, hey, drink this beer, or be like, you know what? I bought a 6-pack and I'm drinking it. I'm like, no, I would never try to purposely buy it. But if there's worse beer than this, which I know there is, I go, guess I'm drinking this fucking shitty white ale that doesn't taste anything like strawberries. Anyways, that was Beer Talk with the Boys. New podcast being dropped on, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. We get it. So
10 a.m. sharp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's been the week, honestly. Anime wise, I rewatched an old episode of Tower of God because I felt like I hadn't watched it in a while and I just wanted a refresher. And I was like, this show is fucking good. I need to fucking finish this.
Watched an old episode, it always brings you back. I remember where I was when Tower of God started.
I forgot. I mean, the most recent episode that's old to you, because you're fucking caught up. I didn't watch any Gleipnir. What I did watch was almost 40 episodes of One Piece.
Okay, so like an hour ago, our homie DJ was snapping us this comic that he just finished.
Yeah, Kings of Nowhere.
And you guys are talking about it. And you talk about One Piece being about a fruit a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting there like, I don't know how he remembers that. Like, we never talk about One Piece ever. And I don't know shit about One Piece other than Luffy's got stretchy arms. They're all on a pirate ship together. There's a skeleton-looking son of a bitch. That's it.
Okay, well, I'll have you know that I watched a lot of One Piece when I was younger. The 4Kids TV dub. Which
I didn't know that they did that. What?
Which was panned as being horrible. This is the one where Sanji, which is the cook with the blonde hair, had like a really bad Boston accent. Do you remember that? He's just like, "Hey, you guys," it was horrible.
I'm sure somebody else remembers it, but I didn't know it aired. I didn't know it was a thing.
It aired around the time of like Shaman King. That
I think I must have been like falling off of cartoons right
when that
because you're like, we have about 2 years difference between us,
age-wise,
so
for sure.
Whenever you talk about these things, I'm like, fuck, I just missed that. Like,
or I caught the end of, like, I didn't watch Monster Rancher, but you did.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we both watched Kirby, right? We both got Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby, right back at you.
Did you watch? And we both caught Fighting Foodons. Did you catch? You didn't catch
Sonic
Ultimate Muscle, though, right?
I didn't watch it because I thought it looked weird and I didn't like it.
Whoa, that's my fucking culture, bro. How dare you?
Yeah, well, that's what I was, as a kid, I was raised by some very judgmental people.
Whew. Well, I'm just letting you know, man, my second shelf, which is at eye level, I purposely did that. If I turn my head a little bit, it's just all Ultimate Muscle stuff. It makes me very happy.
There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, it looks ugly, and I, not every weekend would I have all this TV time.
Yeah, exactly, because you're off and on with your like mom or dad.
So I had
right?
I had to choose like which shows I wanted to watch consistently, and
I get it. No, I understand. Anyways, this is, to my knowledge, I've watched this old One Piece. It was an older dub. It was different. It also had a lot of censorship. Sanji, instead of smoking a cigarette, had a lollipop. They removed
4Kids was really good at doing weird censorship or localization.
Yeah. They also, exactly, localization. So like they removed like rice balls became cookies.
Yeah, jelly-filled donuts.
Donuts, yeah.
All Pokemon fans know.
They removed cleavage or covered cleavage up. They took guns out and they replaced it with like weird things. Like, like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like a gun was like someone just holding their hand like this. One was like, it was really bad. It was a guy who was holding a gun to a kid's head. Oh, like a musket, like a pistol, right? And they said they removed it and it became like a piece of wood that had like a spring holding back a hammer. So like if he would let it go, the hammer would go and bop the kid or something. And it was just like...
That is elaborate.
So much.
Also, I don't know if more violent is the right word, but if you fucking slammed a hammer into somebody's head, that would, I think, be more traumatic than a bullet.
But it's more cartoony as opposed to just being a gun, right? Like you're like, oh, it's a hammer. Yeah. They also did weird things like they removed like in the actual One Piece, they go against the Marines, like the people in the bad people, like the cops are called Marines. They made it the Navy. They're like, people aren't going to understand it. Like Marines here don't fucking go in the sea. It has to be the Navy. Anyways, I grew up with that. I watched a lot of it because like I'm rewatching it on like the new. It's on Netflix. It's also on Funimation, but I'm watching it on Netflix because Funimation sucks ass, and I'll talk to you about that in a sec. Which we know.
Not getting into it, okay?
Which we know. But yeah, so a lot of it's just like me, like recalling. Oh, I remember that. But at some point, they canceled it. So more happened. Funimation took hold of it and they redubbed it, and that's the dub that a lot of people also got, and that was the dub that was on Toonami, which I didn't watch. I watched the like I said, the 4Kids dub. Which universally people hate, which I did not know. And I was like watching the Funimation dub, and I'm just like, what the fuck's up with Sanji's dumb voice? He sounds like a normal person. This isn't okay. And I'm like upset. It's a lot better. But my biggest complaint is I think the 4Kids TV intro theme song was so fucking good. It's the yayo, oh. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's so good. And then they don't have that in the Funimation. They have like an actual anime dub that feels very of the time, very like old school anime.
Yeah, that's that hard shit where
you get the bad and the good.
Digimon theme song is fucking great.
so good.
But in Japanese, it would be in Japanese.
Yeah. But the dub of Digimon, you're like, could be different. Anyways, I just put on One Piece because it's just got added to Netflix. I didn't think they have like 120 episodes. But I just needed to watch something, have something going while I was doing all my work. So it's not like I paid super attention to like One Piece. It was just like in the corner window while I was doing my work for an entire week. So that's why I got through so much of it.
Makes sense.
It's good. Like it has a lot of the nostalgia feel to me. It's not like, obviously I know it gets better animation wise, story wise, because it is running for so long. I think there's 900 actual episodes of One Piece and there's like 500 that have actually been dubbed. So like even if I did catch up, I'd still wouldn't exactly be caught up. Any of the manga's been going forever. So I was like, you know what? Let me just check it out. And I like a lot of the aesthetics from One Piece. I think pirates are dope. I have a stupid Luffy, figure where he's got those super long arms. So I was like,
yeah, it is stupid.
Yeah. I was like, why not? Let's give it a shot. So I'm enjoying it. It's not something that I'm taking super serious. I'll maybe stop like maybe another 20 episodes and I go, all right, I'm good. I don't need to watch any more One Piece.
But it's going to be a good background show, and that kind of shit, like, you'll come back to it whenever you're working on another project.
Yeah, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Became that background show for a while, too. I feel like in my last semester of class, where it's just like, I got to work on something, like, let's fucking chuck up some Yu-Gi-Oh! Here we go. So that's why I made it through so much One Piece in this last week. Yeah, man, it's something. Funimation sucks ass, and here's why it sucks ass. Yeah, they have more of the dub of the English dub because they're the ones that do. It's Funimation taking care of the One Piece dub. I go to play it. Obviously, the episodes are older. Something about the ratio isn't right, like on the screen. Like, it's like that old... It's not like that,
It's a box.
Yeah, it's that box. Yeah. Netflix, for some reason, handles it better. Funimation's just like, let's make this shit all fucking distorted. I was like, hey, dude, it's like, just give me the box. I'm okay with giving the box as long as it's not like super like... You can tell like they zoomed in a bit to try to cut off the edges. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay. So they still made it like the wide frame.
It feels like they pushed it in and I'm missing like information around the end. I was like, dude, just do this and like leave me alone. And so then
a long time ago when that started being a more regular thing, when they started trying to make everything for widescreen as well, there was that option to punch it up and make it widescreen even though it shouldn't be. It looked bad. That happened a lot. But that was it was such a short period. It was maybe like 2 to 4 years seeing that kind of shit.
Which is a blink before, and then they go, okay, let's all agree this is the ratio of televisions. It's no longer a square, it's a rectangle.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating. And then on top of that, I feel like the dub was off. Like the syncing was not caught up at the right part. And I'm like, this is your how is it you're the one, how is it you're in charge of this dub? It's the Funimation dub, and you've been doing it for 500 episodes, and Netflix somehow still fucking did it better than you did. So after giving it like maybe less an episode on on Funimation, I'm like, I'm just gonna go back to fucking Netflix, and if I do ever catch up to where I need to go to Funimation, I'll think about going to Funimation, or maybe that'll be the end of my One Piece career.
Maybe that's it, dude.
I go cool.
Like, new season of One Piece, and you're like, cool. I guess I have that now.
Yeah, I go cool, man. I watched all of One Piece that's on Netflix, and that's all I fucking care about. So yeah, it's something.
You still
and
watched like 400 episodes of the show, so whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't want to shit on anybody, because I know that people do like the show a lot and they are up to date with it, and as for what it is entertaining. It is not super thought provoking because it is at least the first season is super old now. So it's like, all right, it does feel very nostalgic, story pacing kind of stuff, like not the most accurate or the best. They do a lot of things where they'll cut away from a fight. Like something's about to happen, they cut away and then they cut back to just the fight kind of being over. Like someone did a super dope attack, but I didn't actually get to see the attack land. And they go, they're probably cutting for the budget, or maybe, like he's going to go like, I'm going to fucking rock you. And then they cuts back and they just like, yeah, I fucking did it. You saw fucking bopped in the face. And I go, okay, I guess as a kid, I wouldn't have fucking cared. But as a 26-year-old man-child, I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I want to see all the animation.
Yeah, there are a lot of times where that kind of stuff happens. I don't remember what it was that I was watching recently, but I remember there was that same kind of a moment where it was, this action is about to take place. And we knew it did just because you see like the other side of things, you see the less cool part.
Yeah.
So you still see something happening, but it's the one that you didn't care about.
Yeah.
Just it's those characters over there. Yeah.
The
Somebody's doing like a giant explosion and you get to see
someone go like this.
Explosion like light on people's eyes.
Face,
that's it.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
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 I don't know.
But I think that's just probably old anime, right? That's just probably
exactly. It is, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my anime that I've been watching this week. What about you, man? Have you been watching any anime on your 5 days off?
Well, I'll first talk about Avatar because it's that gray area. Mm-hmm. We are now on the last 4 episodes. We're on Sozin's Comet. Gonna watch that tomorrow.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, Kate's having a crazy time with it. She's getting really excited whenever characters are kind of switching sides. And we just watched the Ember Island Players episode, the recap.
episode, the one that I'm not the hugest fan of. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Which
I'm tough. Sonic Scream. Yeah.
You and I might have a different view of that.
What? How dare you?
Only because we were watching it when it was airing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
Yeah. And that was our episode before a huge fucking hiatus.
Oh, yeah. We're just like, I can't wait to watch this fucking episode. I'm so and then it's just like, what the fuck is this? It's a shitty recap.
And all that happens is Aang and Katara are kind of in conflict.
Maybe
that's the only story progression.
Yeah, and I was like, I know I don't need to see this play. I saw what actually happened. I was there, bro. I was fucking there.
Yeah. So you and I felt differently because we were waiting, and then leading up to the end of Avatar, there was a hiatus in between Boiling Rock 1 and 2.
There was, yeah.
I started watching it at Boiling Rock. That was the first time that I got into the show. So I watched everything, led it all the way up to there, and was like, that's fucking incredible. When's the next episode coming out? I'm happy I'm caught up. And then I'm like, oh, it hasn't aired in weeks? Nobody knows when it's going to air? What's happening? Mm-hmm. And then Comic-Con happened, and a trailer came out that showed some moments from the next few episodes. Not even like Sozin's Comet moments, but like other shit. Maybe it was Sozin's Comet. I can't remember exactly what was there, but I know for sure it showed us like the Southern Raiders episode where Katara is trying to find the guy who killed her mom. Mm-hmm. It showed some of that recap episode, a little highlight from that, and it showed the Boiling Rock 2. It showed like those 3 episodes for sure. And I was so hyped and like, yeah, we're in it. It's finally fucking happening. There's going to be some cool stuff. And then that finally comes around and they air it. And they're like, we're going to do it really fast and you guys are going to love it. And I think they aired those 3 episodes like one day after another or something like that.
Yeah, no, I feel like it was like, come back tomorrow for, part 2. And it's like, come back for the finale. And it's like, yeah, fucking right, I'm coming back.
So, yeah, but then there was that hiatus between the Ember Island Players and the finale. We just went through one. They give us 3 episodes like right there. They're like, here you fucking go, whatever. And then we had to wait a whole bunch longer. So it did not feel good.
We're also children.
End on a recap episode.
I'm also like a child. Well, not like a child, but I'm also a lot younger and be like, this is fucking bullshit. Why don't they just give me what I want? Yeah.
I don't remember when it stopped airing, but I remember being like 15 or 16 to 18. No, not 18. It would have been before then. I was probably around like 16.
I'm going to look it up because now I'm curious. I'm going to find out when those last episodes aired. Keep going.
Yeah, go for it. So we were pretty young, but still like went through these periods of breaks that shouldn't have been there. And it felt so bad. But then finally, when that last episode, when the Sozin's Comet aired, it's actually not the like last episode. It's 4 episodes of Sozin's Comet part 1 through 4, right?
Yeah, right.
But leading up to that, they were like, guys, fuck it. We're putting them all together. It's going to be a 2-hour special. And then they had a countdown like the whole week leading up to it. They would show all these clips and they would show all kinds of special ads. And they made it like a huge event. So.
Okay, here. You want some information? Because I got it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about how they had a giant break. So we go to the day of Black Sun, which is the time when they go like hunt. Like
that's before
it's the eclipse,
Zuko
right?
Comes
so
in.
it's the eclipse that aired November 30th, 2007. And then we have a giant break. And the next episode is the Western Air Temples. That's when Zuko hooks up with them. July 14th, 2008. Okay? So November till July. And then they do 15, 16, 17. Hold on. On July 14th and July 15th, they have an episode. On July 16th, they have both episodes of The Boiling Rock. And on July 17th, they have the Southern Raiders. July 18th, they have the Ember Islands play. And then apparently, I think we forgot this. You thought this wrong because July 19th, they do all 4 episodes of Sozin Comet. So it's 2-hour finale.
Okay, well that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but there was a massive gap, and then it was just like one day after another, and then we finally get them all at the very end. But it was bullshit. As a child, I'm just like, this is not okay.
Yeah, no, it was. That's right. They were doing those episodes as the countdown.
Yeah.
So they were like, it's going to end. We're actually doing it. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for looking that up.
Well, I was curious. I was like,
sure.
I was 12. That's how old I was when the last episode of the Sozin's Comet came out.
2008?
Yes, 12. Yeah, on July 19th, I was 12 years old.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah. Well, I just did, okay, so 2020 minus 20 008 is 12. Yeah, that's, oh, hold on, no, sorry, 12. I gotta subtract that by how old I am. Give me a sec. I can't do basic math. I was I can't believe I can't get this calculator to work. I was 14. That makes more sense. So you were like 16.
Yeah. So okay. I was 16. So I'm like,
that doesn't feel right. Yeah. Anyways, we were still young. Is the point?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, sorry, but Kate gets to watch that episode, and then and then get the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. So we're right there. So we had that big chunk all at once. But for us, we just wanted it to fucking end because they jerked us around for so long.
Well, let's see, November to July. That's like almost like half a year, right? Of us waiting and not being told that, like, hey, like you're gonna get it when you get it. It's funny how it's funny how we like internalize things and like we go, wow, what a traumatizing time, and then it's just like and then we go, it wasn't that bad actually, It's not like we waited 4 years for season 2 of Attack on Titan just to get fucked around with 12 episodes and it be in 3 days, which I will never forgive.
I know you're very bitter about that, and I understand, but I disagree.
I know, because you fucking like season 2, which I don't. I fucking like season 3 a lot, though. Whew.
I think maybe it's because I gave up hope. I was like, I doubt it'll ever get made.
Really?
If it's not made now, like, yeah, I think I must have given up. I don't know. Or maybe like I said, yeah, whenever they come up with it. But internally, I was like, never. And then finally, when it happened, I was like, yeah, I mean, I've been saying that they're probably going to come out.
You're like, oh my god, there is faith in humanity. I like how we've never talked about that, but I'm glad that you admitted that you gave up hope.
Yeah, why the fuck not? Like, because at that point, I was like, okay, so we have Sword Art Online, which I fucking loved. Mm-hmm. And then the second half of the first season, I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. But I was still stoked for like season 2, and they said it's coming out and we're going to see it. And then Attack on Titan had like aired a year or so before season 2 of Sword Art Online. And it was so fucking good. Or a year or two before Sword Art Online season 2, whatever. It was really fucking good. Mm-hmm. And there was no talk about when season 2 was going to come out. And I was just sitting there. And then Sword Art Online, which was sitting around for 2 years and didn't get a sequel. And then it got a sequel. And then it kept getting sequels. Like, those are the 2 shows that I think were the most popular for like around that same time. I think they might have come out like a year after each other, something like that. But they were so insanely popular. When this one that I thought was just as popular as the other one didn't get a sequel season after all this time, and it kept not getting one, I gave up hope.
Like deep down inside,
One Punch Man season 2, I gave up hope with One Punch Man season 2 as well. And then when it aired and I got all that hope back, I felt so defeated. But but I was only excited about season 2 of that because I got Attack on Titan, which I thought they kept the quality up. it was just a very different kind of season,
Mm-hmm.
and we waited too long. This one felt like no time was passing. It was totally different, but I was so thankful to have it. I was like, you guys did such a good job with what you had, and we're getting more. Like, it was already season 3, it's coming, you know.
Yeah, so we promise you
yeah.
that no, man. But you know what the thing is? I also understand you from your point. Like, I'm not shitting on you for liking that season. I'm just bitter about like
that's where I was getting to. Like, I really appreciated that they kept up the quality and everything.
Yeah. It still
but then
great.
when I got to they did things well. It's some Attack on Titan
amazing.
Shit.
Yeah, this fucking intro is still great. Yeah.
With One Punch Man season 2, it just came around, and right from the start, it was like, no, everything's wrong. This isn't okay. Like, you could just tell it was off. But with Attack on Titan, the reason that you're so upset is because it was that good quality. It was so good.
But
you just wanted more.
I just wanted the actual story to progress after waiting for so long for it to be like, hey man, what's in the basement? And they go, we're not gonna fucking tell you. And I go, why not? And they go, because we don't fucking have to. And I was like, oh, you fucking sons of bitches. And it was only 12 episodes. So I was like, no.
Exactly. If it was longer, you would have fucking loved it because it was that same quality.
Yeah,
versus,
I'm glad
One Punch Man, which dropped it, but
and I'm glad that we can talk about this. You know, I'm glad that you and I stands on different sides of the aisles, but you know, we can come together and agree.
Oh, totally understand where you're coming from.
We can both agree season 2 of One Punch Man sucked ass.
Yes.
I love the oh, you guys are so dumb. You guys don't even know what's coming up next. Like, I don't want to fucking know what's coming up next because this is so bad. Who the fuck cares? They're saving the budget for. I was like, fucking who cares about the budget? I don't think you're gonna get a season 3. I don't think they are actually. I don't know if I look. I don't know. I don't want to watch it.
It shouldn't be considered season 3. It should be considered 2-2 or something like that because. It wasn't over. It was like, yeah, this giant monster is still crushing the whole town. I don't know.
You know what they should do? They should just, every season of like One Punch Man, they should just give it to a different studio and like let them have their fucking take at it. Like next season will be Trigger. Season after that they'll do Bones, and like they'll just keep going down the line. Eventually, like some like studio that just does just specifically. Oh, the people that did that weird dinosaur show. You know, the live action shit.
The Pop Team Epic people.
Yeah. They'll just get it, and it's just this fucking giant mashup. And then they go, it was all an experiment the whole time. One Punch Man is just this whole thing. It's an art installation. It's not an actual show.
Well, I might be interested in it that way. But.
Yeah, 20 years from now when I'm a fucking mature adult. Right now I'm pissed.
Yeah, no, not at all for me. Other than Avatar, which isn't even
anime.
Whatever, fuck it. I watched a couple episodes of Review Starlight. I'm interested to see more. I liked it. It's essentially a show about these idols that are all at like an idol school program type thing. Except they have these secret auditions, which are actually fights. So they get like weapons and they go at it for a giraffe.
Whoa.
It's weird as fuck.
That's right. You texted me, you're just like, yo man, Review Starlight's weird. I go, what kind of weird? Because there's a lot of different types of weird of anime, and you just go, it's like, you know, it's like musical battle giraffe. And I go, what? That is the weirdest sentence I've ever seen. And you go,
it's that kind of weird.
Yeah, not the sexy weird, not the creepy vibes weird. It's just like
but the
weird show.
Fight giraffes, yeah.
Kind of like maybe like that alien fishing show where it's just like kind of weird, you know? It's like for like no reason.
Yeah, it's
better than that show though.
No, well, I'm not saying better or worse. I'm just saying that that's the same kind of weird, but done differently. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's just like I feel like Alien Fishing Show is lighthearted and whimsical and goofy, where Review Starlight is strange, but it takes itself very seriously.
Alien Fishing Show, for people who want to know, it's called Suritama.
Yeah, Suritama.
Yeah. I wasn't fucking with it, but it's interesting.
It's got cool art.
Oh yeah, it looks.
I'll tell you that much.
You look at it, and you go, hey guys, art, right? You go to
look at that art.
Look at that art. Nice.
Okay, so I watched that. Had a good time. Excited to watch more. We're not going to be able to review it for a while, though.
Yeah,
we thought we were going to be doing it this week, like we said earlier, but We've got let's see, next week B&A comes out on the 30th, right?
Yeah. Oh, so that means we can't review in time because that'll be a Tuesday unless you want to fucking chug it all.
We're doing wrap up stuff. We're doing B&A. We're doing Anime Expo Light.
Yeah.
Got another episode planned, and then we have the
preview. Plus whatever
I think that's like 6 episodes.
And we don't know how preview is going to work exactly too, because there's still the shows from last season that didn't get to finish because of COVID. So do those also continue to air? So it's like this weird wrap up's gonna be weird. Wrap up would be very weird. Usually wrap up super long, but like I'm only gonna have
sometimes it's short,
maybe 2 shows to talk about. Because
4,
3. Well, you for sure have Gleipnir and then Tower God, and then you're also watching the
Wave Listen to Me and
and the Bookworm
of a Bookworm.
So I guess you came out pretty good on that. You're still watching some shows, because the only shows that I was really into was Gleipnir, Tower God, and then the racing show, the wacky racing show, and that's done. I was kind of considering watching yesterday's Tomorrow, Today, Sing for Me,
Sing
Always.
Yesterday for Me. Yeah,
that's what I said. That's what I fucking said.
I know,
but I don't know. I kind of also don't want to, because like, why should I chug a beer? Why should I chug an anime that I know that like I wasn't really fucking with just because I don't get to watch the animes I actually want to watch? So I don't know. I don't know,
man. Sometimes you got to compromise. But anyways, we're gonna get around to review Starlight in the future. I promise. Sorry, we said that we were gonna do it and then couldn't or didn't.
Yeah,
or whatever.
We're fucking liars. Sorry.
Yeah. But Gleipnir, it's fine. I honestly don't think this is a show that I'm gonna wind up caring about. If there's another season of it, but I might change my mind. We'll see. It's still got one more episode before I'm done.
I feel like for me, it was like it's at really super high, and then we're like still going high, and then I found out they're aliens, and it was like it just kind of took a big dip. And
aliens did that for you,
but it's not. I'm not saying that it was the aliens. I'm just saying around that time, because the whole time I was like,
I feel like the story kind of stagnated. It was like, oh, this is interesting. I don't know about this situation. Let's see, and then it was still kind of good. Yeah, and then you hit that. Yeah, okay, so this is just what's happening now.
Yeah, and then we're in the forest for a bunch, and I go, some of this is cool. I don't know. I don't hate it. I still really like to see. I like some of the fights.
It's good. I mean, I like it. I enjoyed the last episode, but since we're getting so close to our wrap up, just kind of wanted to say where I'm at now, and we'll see if that changes based off of the last episode, because some things can change. Like, without saying much about The Last of Us Part 2, there were some parts of it where I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. And then by the end of it, I was like, well, I'm really happy that there were a lot of moments where I wasn't always having a good time. And I get texted from people about it too, because everyone's playing it, about the parts where they don't like it as much. Just sometimes when you push through it, it makes you appreciate the things that you didn't enjoy as much. Gleipnir, we'll see.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? This has nothing to do with it. You said the word appreciate.
I appreciate you, by the way.
It's literally, so Saturday was like, that whole wackiness, right? And then I went back to bed and I woke up late. I had to go somewhere. I don't know where I had to go. I think I had to go to the old place, or maybe go to my parents real quick to grab something. And I'm like driving, and I get at a corner, like I stop at like the stoplight, and I go, I shit you not, Trip. I literally have this thought. I go, oh man, I miss Trip. That's literally, it was just
I have those thoughts so often, because we still get together and we have these podcasts and we talk and we'll text some shit over the week or whatever. But it like does not.
It's not the same. Like, we haven't hung out, and the thing is, like, I was like, maybe because I've been so busy with the move and then like wrapping up with school, like it was the last thing on my mind. So as soon as like I had nothing, like there was nothing in my head. It's like I have to get this. I was just like, oh, I miss my friend. And I was like, I feel kind of bad. I was like,
it sucks,
I guess I better go to where I'm going, because I can't go see Trip.
Earlier today, I was like, oh man, there's still that like, we still have an escape room board game to play, but I got like an extra big one for us to do. And I was like, I can't wait until I can get Juan and Sierra and Kyle and Eliza over here and just get the whole gang back together and we could play it. And that'll be the first time that we get together is we do that kind of shit where we have immediately remember, oh yeah, we get mad at each other for these reasons.
For stupid shit. We go, hey, don't fold that way. Great, you fucking wrote on that. Now it's ruined.
That's stupid.
Now we're never going to escape the Pharaoh's tomb, you fucking idiot.
Yep.
No, I also was thinking oh man, like we never finished the fighting game, the something City Girls.
I know. I think about that pretty often.
And
River City Girls.
I go, oh man, I want to finish that game. I want to save my boyfriend. And I go, fucking can't. Damn it.
I don't even remember their names now. It's like Kamiko, I think, is maybe a character's name.
I don't know. Your boyfriend was cuter than mine, so I'm pretty bummed.
Yeah, like Dave was hotter than Ben or whatever.
Anyways, what else? Do you watch any more animes or no?
Yeah, so Wave Listen to Me. It's just good. I don't know. It's just been pretty solid, pretty consistent. I think last time I said that they're writing their own show. That's where we're at, man.
Okay.
Writing their own show.
I think we did talk about that, how you were saying that like her producer or director's like, I'm fucking out, and now she's doing her own shit.
Yeah, so he did his last episode with her, and now she's doing her own shit and gets her own show and gets like total reign over everything. Yeah. So that's what's up with that. Sentence of a Bookworm. I can't remember where I left off with you last week, but it's been good, dude. I don't know. It's just interesting to see her relationship develop with everyone between the city and the church and see kind of how that's working out with her orphans. And
Trip, I'm looking up River City Girls. I'm sorry I'm not listening to you. Which girl were you? I can't remember. Were you the pink-haired one?
I was the Asian chick, and you were the, like, redhead.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, continue.
I think, right?
I was the Asian chick because I liked her backpack. I remember it has like a heart-shaped backpack. And she has like the gauntlet things. Yes, that is what is going on here. Your boyfriend is harder than mine. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? I mean, when you're hotter, you obviously get a hotter boyfriend. No big deal.
It's absolutely true.
It is what it is.
So yeah, Sentence of a Bookworm. Still been good. Still want to watch more of that. Tower of God. You're not caught up on it?
Nah, but I mean, I will be caught up with it because it's going to be done next week.
Well, yeah, true. The point that we got in the episode, like last episode, is they're doing this trial. They've got to do some thing together, and they're all working on it. And then this episode is halfway through the trial. It starts, and then it's getting to the end of it. And it ends with a real cliffhanger that'll make you go, well, what the fuck next, dude? Is that it? So, yeah.
Do you think that's 11, right? That's what episode you're on?
Yeah.
It's going to be 12, right? Like, it's not going to go further than that?
It's going to 12, and people said that after that point, the show becomes what it actually is.
Oh, really?
The manga or whatever, the webtoon. Yeah. So it takes a little bit to get there, but then it becomes like, all right, so you're going to get more consistency of what kind of thing this is. Which is similar to what people say, since this is a Crunchyroll original, I'm going to compare it with the show coming out soon here, God of High School. That show, apparently the first arc is going to be just fights, and then it changes a lot after that. So they're saying like, yeah, the beginning of it is just a battle anime, but then it changes. And I feel like Tower of God is going to hit that point where it changes. It's interesting.
You know what's for some reason that the concept of it just being a bunch of fights, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. Like if it's just, as long as they're cool fights, I don't care.
God of High School?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like I like the idea that like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of it's fights. Don't worry about it. As long as it's done well, because we've seen a lot of fights in like Kengan Ashura, and we're just like, whatever. But they look like shit.
What was the Saint Seiya?
The new one?
Yeah, the new Saint Seiya that we
because they fought for a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
No, that was essentially just like there was always a big fight each episode or big moments, and there were a couple of tournament arcs.
Yeah, but I want to say that there was an announce. I don't know if it was a manga that was announced or an actual manga was turning into an anime where literally all it was like a battle tournament, like just like. And I remember it having like a not traditional like anime art style. Like it wasn't like what you would imagine, like super highly done details, like very cartoony and shit. But I don't think that shit ever happened. Or maybe it just, it was a manga, and like I misinterpreted it being an anime because that I remember seeing that. But it sounds like God of High School is going to be, at least the first arc is just a bunch of fights, which I'm cool with as long as they're done well. Like, you know, I don't know what else to. Yeah, I'm excited for that because so far Crunchyroll originals, they're you know, they're nice. I think they just dropped a trailer for another Crunchyroll original that's actually coming out pretty, you know, soon because like the new shit's coming out. It's like about these sword boys, and I'm like, okay, cool, sword boys.
I'm excited for whatever they've got because so far the few shows that we've seen, Tower of God, Inspector, and I think they like retroactively did something. I don't remember what it was, or like were able to announce it. They all look pretty good. They were all good times. We, of course, didn't watch all of Inspector. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't what we were looking for, but it looked great, and people did love it, and it totally has merit. Tower of God. Yeah, Tower of God, I could see this not being for some people, but it's absolutely for us.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's cool that all these Crunchyroll originals are very different from one another. You know?
I feel like, absolutely. I feel like they're not like, I think they're doing a good job of getting a little bit of everything and being like, what do people really want? Or maybe they're not trying to figure out like what their shtick is because maybe like they get played out, but maybe their goal with the Crunchyroll originals is to get maybe different story types that you wouldn't actually normally see turned into anime.
Well, because they also have that like all girl studio or whatever.
They're working on that. Yeah, but that hasn't come out yet either. I don't think.
No, but that's like a very different vibe.
It's a different project. Yeah,
Tower of God is.
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to say that for some reason at least I do. I think I have a huge bias whenever there's a show that has interesting character designs. I'm usually sucked in. Like, you know, when there's always like a character that just doesn't look normal or is strange. Like, you know, there's a fucking guy.
Sometimes I'm that way with like certain voices too.
Yeah. You know, it's like something about that always gives you be like, okay, I'm more interested because it's not just some pink hair anime boob, which there's nothing wrong with pink hair anime boob. You know, if that's your stuff, that's your stuff. But sometimes you want to see a little lizard chick with the sword. Sometimes you want to see a dude in a blanket. You know what I'm saying?
So know what you're saying. Oh my God, I know what you're saying.
All right, man.
That's the anime. That's what anime is, man. That's all of it right there.
That's the Instagram podcast. Thank you for listening.
Do you want to know some news? I don't have great news to start with.
Let's do it, man.
But let's get into the news, baby. All right. So the voice actress, Yurina Hase, she recently came out and told a story. Or not a story. She told her situation to people. Mm-hmm. Where when she was being cast for a role at Sunrise Studio, she was essentially told, hey, will you do these sexual favors for me? Mm-hmm. And she was like, no. And then they called her and said, you don't have the job.
Yeah.
Just straight up like.
I saw that. That's I actually came across that. Some fucking bullshit, dude. Like sexual assault's horrible. You know, like I'm not gonna like, you know, and that's been happening a lot. Obviously, a lot of people coming forward and being like, hey, I was sexually assaulted. Famous people by famous people or people with power, and that's really good. I think that's super
it's
good.
Very brave. It's very positive that people are able to talk about these situations, so we could hopefully correct it as, you know,
as a society. You know, like, you know, and you know, or people of power taking advantage of this. Like, I know that like it is very dangerous when those like accusations come out, because there's always this like, are you telling the truth? You know, why would you lie about that? You know, kind of stuff. And there's always as like, you know. So I'm glad when people do come forward and are brave enough to do that. I know like Terry Crews came out, you know, and he's like a big strong man, came out and someone did that to him, like, you know, sexually assaulted him, a man sexually assaulted him when he was like coming up into like the industry, and he was just like, and someone, because he's such a giant towering man, there's like, oh, why would you do that? Like, why don't you just beat him up? He's just like, what? It's like, excuse me, I was assaulted. Like, that's not how my brain works. I froze. You know, it's all this shit. So that's fucking bullshit that this happened to her. That's one of the things like that really pisses me off. People who have some sort of power or leverage over other people, like for instance, giving someone a job, and then using that to have them do something for them really fucking pisses me off. Like Bombshell came out and I watched, I think it was called Bombshell. It came out. It was a great movie, but God, did I leave that movie so fucking mad just because of like just all of it. I was like how could someone let this monster do this for so long? People fucking know, it's just like it really gets to me. That one I always say I can never understand that.
It's horrible. So I'm glad somebody's able to speak up. When there are these industries like anime that you hear a lot of bad things about how animators are treated and whatnot. You don't hear a lot about voice actors or other people that are involved with the studios with each project. So it's really cool to know that there are people that are going to be able to step up and might be able to say something because somebody did take this kind of a step. So
yeah, and that's
anyways,
good.
I to move along from some good but negative news, Crunchyroll announced their summer 2020 anime lineup.
Okay,
so
cool.
They haven't announced everything yet. There are a few things that I'll just tell you really quick. The God of High School, Re:Zero Season 2, Rent a Girlfriend, Gibiate.
I saw the Rent a Girlfriend thing. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
No, we're not kidding. The Misfit of Demon King Academy, Fire Force 2, Mr. Love, Queen's Choice, and finally, Healin' Good, Pretty Cure.
How many is that?
I think it was just 8. I think I just finger counted up 8. Yeah,
finger wise, I think it's 8. That's so that feels like a little bit, but I feel it's like because of what happened.
There's still more to be announced, and there are things that are going to pick up and continue. Because we got a few episodes of Digimon. It's supposed to be coming back soon around that same time. So yeah, I'll report more on those things later. But yeah, also I just learned that the Pretty Cure or Precure or whatever the hell, they are apparently seasonal. You don't need to watch the rest of it in order to watch it.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. It's like
so
dope. So it's like we don't have to watch season 2 and 3 and catch up.
We could just get in. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So we'll be doing that.
There's not a lot of those. I don't feel like that's not a very common thing. Kind of like Black Mirror. You don't need to see season 1 of Black Mirror to get season 4 kind of thing.
People compared this to Power Rangers.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love me some Power Rangers.
They essentially said, think that this show is like Sailor Moon, but instead of using magic powers, they punch each other.
Oh.
You're like, all right, I'm on board.
Yeah, no, a friend of mine from college, I guess he was an acquaintance, I guess. I wouldn't call him a friend, but I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he really likes Power Rangers, and he works in the Bay Area, and he's working from home now because of COVID and stuff. And he kind of took it upon himself to rewatch Power Rangers, and he's like every week he's like giving an update on like the seasons, and I'm like, dude, this is so much fun. Like for him to go into detail, like acting, Zords, fucking intro songs, what he thinks were good, what he thinks bad, and as like I caught up when he was maybe like 3 weeks in, so he was at I think almost Turbo, which is one of the worst seasons. But I was like, dude, fucking hit me up when fucking Power Rangers in Space comes up, because that's my shit. And he's just like, oh, dude, I got you. What a good critique. I am so excited to watch Power Rangers in Space because it apparently holds up really good. It's like one of my favorite seasons. Power Rangers.
I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers when I was a kid.
Is it because it's the devil?
It's because it was violent,
What?
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter because it was magic. But Power Rangers wasn't magic. That shit was magic. There's no way that's not magic.
Monsters aren't magic?
I guess not, but Harry Potter was. Pokemon, okay, check this out. Pokemon was also magic, but Digimon wasn't.
Yeah, because it's digital, so it's science.
So I couldn't watch Pokemon, but they'd let me watch Digimon. It's so weird. Fucking
essentially, that's more of church type stuff. Like the church says, hey, this isn't allowed because of this reason, but they don't know about Digimon because less kids liked it. So
yeah. You're right. It probably was a church thing. But you know what also was a church thing? The church also, I remember very vividly saying, hey guys, telenovelas are bad, which is like Mexican soap operas. He's like giving a talk about like they promote sexual promiscuity, violence, stuff, just like all these things. And I'm just like, yeah, They do. Looking at mom and dad, I was like, you fucking monsters.
And you remembered it forever, and you're like, that's right.
Well,
I didn't get Pokemon.
Well, the funny thing is that he's like, his opening, like, to the speech was just like, hey, who here watches, this? And like, people rose their hand, like, who here watches this, right? And then he goes, who here watches? And then he like said a specific like scene from a specific novella, like a plot point, like, who here's caught up with that? And like, no one raised their hand. He goes like, I find that very interesting. It's just like calling everybody out on their shit. He does the thing where he goes, they're called novellas. And then he broke it up. He goes like, no means no. Velas means to watch. He's like, it literally means don't watch. I'm like, bro, fucking preach. Do it, dude. Because my parents over here just being like, you guys are burning in hell because you guys watch soap operas. But they still did. They didn't fucking care. Novellas are good. Bro, that's how the family got together. It was like, dude, it's fucking 7 to 9 o'clock. No one gets to watch TV. We all sit down and watch fucking Maria push her fucking blind half sister down the stairs.
I do know.
You do know.
I know.
Anyways,
my next life as a villainess, All Roots Lead to Doom, is renewed for a second season in 2021.
Cool,
People
man.
are stoked. I'm stoked.
I remember liking that show. Like it was like a fun watch. I don't think I'd watch all of it, but cool. It's good to see shows getting sequels.
It's just a little bit more. So that's pretty exciting for people. And then in a very weird other note, you remember that show Kakushigoto?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
It's the dad who did like dirty manga.
Dirty stuff. Yes, I do remember that show. Yes, very vividly.
Yeah, so Kakushigoto, the mangaka, came out and said, I don't care about the manga. Watch the anime.
Whoa. Really? Does that mean he's no longer doing the manga? Or he's just like...
He has concluded the manga. He's done.
And he's just like, watch the anime. They got it right. That's weird. I don't think I've ever heard someone say that.
I know. That's why this is news. It's weird.
Fucking J.K. Rowling comes out, is like, guys, Harry Potter, don't fucking read it. Watch the movies. Like, that'd be so fucking wild.
Like, he could make money off of the manga, but instead he's like, nah, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, people love the... People are loving the anime. Nobody's really saying much about the manga in comparison, but they're like, yeah, man, the anime is fucking killer.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Yeah, cool. Good for him. I think that's very big of him to come out and say, hey man, they did it right.
Isn't that just wacky? Like, who would have thought? Pretty cool though. In something that may never end, I don't really know. The Black Clover anime is going to return on July 7th. Cool. It's been gone for a little bit, so people are hella hype. And another thing that just won't end, which thankfully people are excited about, Gintama gets a new animation special edition in 2021.
Also cool. I feel like I'm happier about that one for some reason.
Well, it's because there's a special place in your heart for Gintama. It's just that giant ass comedy anime that never fucking ended. And then it ended, and now we get like movies and weird special editions and whatnot.
Really good live action movies, yeah.
Pretty good live action. Pretty solid. That is my news for the week. So there's some good stuff. We got to talk a little bit about certain things because of the news. So
cool, man. Let's talk about this week's topic.
A Whisker Away. So this is made by the studio Colorido.
Mm-hmm. I'm familiar with their work.
Are you?
Nope.
Well, you should be because they did Penguin Highway. Yeah.
I like that movie.
And a lot of people know this movie as something else, but Sunny Boy and Dewdrop Girl.
Is that a... Oh, fuck. Is that... No, don't tell me. Don't tell me I know it. It's the fucking... Why don't I know this fucking name of this movie?
You know it.
Weathering with You.
No? Nope.
It's not Weathering with You?
That's why I think the name is so funny. Sunny Boy and Dewdrop Girl is actually called Hinata no Aoshigure.
Oh, you didn't. I knew. Yeah, that was the second thing I was gonna say.
I figured, yeah.
What a fucking ploy! You got me there, bro. You fucking
dude. How crazy though, Sunny Boy and Dewdrop Girl. Anyways, we're all coming after Makoto Shinkai now, right?
Hold on, it's Sunny Boy and Dewdrop Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the other way around in the show.
Sunshine Girl, yeah.
Girl and
Rainy Boy.
Rainy Boy, yeah. Man, imagine if it was Dewdrop Boy.
I know, right? So anyways, I thought that was hella funny. Yeah, it was directed by Junichi Satou. He's done some stuff like Tamayura, which I'm not familiar with, but it has like a few series. And Aria, the series, Aria the origination, Aria the animation, Aria, all that shit. And the screenplay was done by, let me just make sure I got her name right, Mari Okada. And she wrote things like Kiznaiver and Anohana, the flower we saw that day.
Never seen Kiznaiver.
No.
Anohana, pretty overrated in my opinion. Probably like the worst anime out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you there.
No, yeah, actually, you just told me about how she was the one that you said wrote the screenplay, right?
Yeah, so I was expecting a little bit more emotion, but
I feel like
this is like family emotion versus personal emotion.
We'll get into it, but it does feel like it feels like they tried. Like she tried, and it was just wasn't hitting the way Anohana hit. You know?
Yeah. No, it didn't make you cry. This isn't a movie that would ever make you cry. It wouldn't make you like ugly cry to any
man,
hide and seek games. You know,
I don't want to fucking cry. Shut up.
It's such a good show.
It's so short too.
Good.
It's crazy how. God, are we just gonna end up gushing about Anohana for half an hour?
Yeah, more or less. Okay, so
we're just like, yeah. Then this happens with the cats, but then she comes back and she was dead the whole time. You know, instead. Okay, let's get into it.
This movie just fucking starts, and it looks good. Like, no questions at all. I'm watching it, and it's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And then our main character comes in, and it turns out that she's fucking spunky and fun and pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I was in.
Yeah, I would describe her as like a wild child who really kind of, she's like those kids in school that you're like, yo, why are they doing that kind of thing? Like they seem like,
she's
like,
a weirdo.
Yeah, it's everybody in school just trying to get through it, doing the motions, not trying to create waves, and she's just like, I'm just this person, here you go, woo, and it's just like, it's nice because honestly, you probably didn't like those kids growing up in school, but it's nice to see this in anime because like usually our main character is a fucking gloomy bitch or dude bitch.
Yeah, anime, they're always just so fucking
or they're like, just like a plain nobody, just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's just it's nice to have a main character who has a different personality that we don't see rarely,
Yeah, and she's been established. Like that's kind of something that right away. This is a real character in this world because she has so much personality and other people are reacting to her. Yeah, it's the people around her that made her feel authentic.
Yeah, or we might see this type of personality in anime, but it not be the main character. It'd be like the wacky sidekick, the best friend or whatever. So it's cool to see them get like center stage and be like, wow, look, she's an odd one, but I'm enjoying her. Like she's just living her life,
I was into that.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we open up with her chilling with her friend, going to school. Right? That's how it opens.
Yeah, it opens up with her and her mom having an argument at a festival, and she's like fishing fish out of a
they got
pool.
in a little fight really quick.
Yeah, and then like something happens, see a big old
mom
flash.
Says like everything you're always going to be a fuck up or something.
Molecules
stupid.
got all rearranged, all that kind of stuff. But then yes, the very next thing is a very abrupt
the actual story.
Yeah, her going to school and her doing a surprise attack on some boy she likes. She takes her shoes off and like gives him like a big old booty bump.
It's like sunrise attack, sunrise something.
She essentially runs at him and then jumps and turns and then like with her butt connects his butt, and I go, that's fucking great. That's an awesome like wrestler's move, like that'd be the shit, And in that just very quickly we get to see who the people in this story is. Like that's who she is. She has a friend who's a little more straight edge, She's kind
of like a normal ass motherfucker.
Yeah, And the boy that she likes, he's kind of cute. I wouldn't say he's like super cute or whatever, but you can see that he very quickly is just like doesn't want to fuck with her. He's just like, you know what? He's like doesn't yell at her, doesn't give her anything. He just kind of goes like walks away, and her friend's like, yo, why are you fucking with him? He doesn't like you. And she's like, that's what you think. I'll fucking make him like me. And I go, yeah, bitch, you get
Hell
your man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chase that heart.
And then, we get to see her, like, her family life. It's not the worst, but it's not like ideal.
Like, pretty fucking good, in my opinion.
I agree. Like, it's good.
I think maybe that's my problem with it, is that her home life was too good for me to be invested in the way that she felt about everything. But that being said, I get where she's coming from.
Yeah, at her age in middle school, this probably was a huge thing. And she'd been dealing with it before that. So essentially the gist of her family life is that her actual mother, her biological mother, walked out on her and her father when she was younger. I think like she was in grade school. To my knowledge, we don't get any information as to why. No one's ever explained why she leaves.
Mom just sucks.
She just left. And now her father is, I think it's her new wife, right? Because I don't think they ever say girlfriend.
She says stepmom.
Yeah, so he's remarried. She's younger. She's really cool. She's really nice, and she does her best to try to connect with their stepdaughter, who's our main character. And, her dad is also very, seems to be really cool, level-headed. They don't have the best relationship with the mom, like the actual dad and the mom. Like, they'll call on the phone and yell at each other or text each other and stuff. And it's like, that feels real. That feels realistic. A lot of people have these resentful emotions towards their ex-partner, which is like...
It also felt like it was very, not as bad as it could have been.
No,
they were very matter of fact. But
the thing is, I don't come from, a house of divorce, so I don't know what it's actually like. I've just seen a lot of, Lifetime movies. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Lifetime movies. I've seen a lot of reality TV shows, But to my knowledge, it was like, yeah, I get that there's tension there, but it's not like they're literally pulling the daughter in half, like this. The mom is trying to get her to be like, hey, tell your dad you want to live with me. That way, you don't have to live with her. By the way, stepmom, super cool. I want to nominate her as for the, best mom in animes, at least for the year, because she's way better than actual mom. You don't like stepmom?
I agree with you 100%.
Okay, thank God. Because I was like, what, dude? She's super nice. She has a cat.
Right now, I agree with you 100%. But I don't know what we got in store. Who knows, dude? Digimon, Izzy's parents might be pretty good. Ty's got a pretty cool mom.
Okay, well, I'm not saying she's nominated to win. I'm just saying she's in the running to be a potential winner for this year's. Yeah, candidate. Okay, but she's not. She doesn't have it fucking hands down. Of course she doesn't. We haven't seen Izzy's mom yet. Fuck, dude.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But yeah, so this is her home life. She seems to be really nice, and she seems to be respectful to an extent, but she also kind of feels like little standoffish with her mom. Like her mom be like, hey, her stepmom was like, hey, do you want this for food, or do you want to have tea? And she's just like, no, I'm just gonna go to my room. Thank you for doing this, or whatever, and goes off to her room. And then we quickly find out that she has the ability to turn into a cat.
Oh, she's junior high. She's like 9th grade. Think that. As far as wherever you're at in the world, like freshman in high school or your third year or whatever.
She is not an adult. Year. She is not a child. She's in that in between,
Yeah.
But she, I guess we're led to believe that at this festival, at this fucking carnival thing, she ran into some sort of cat, right? He's like a cat spirit, or maybe just a cat. I don't know. He's this fucking weird looking cat.
Yeah.
Who offers her, he's a mask salesman. He sells masks. And her mask is shaped like a cat. She puts it on and she transforms into this cute little white cat. And then when she's in cat mode, she goes over to her boyfriend's house. Actually, her crush's house. They're not dating. And she taps on the window and she becomes part of his life. And she's just kind of she plays the role of the stray cat that this boy seems to like, and he'll pet her and stuff, and she spends time with him that way. And it's kind of cute. It's also kind of weird,
it's for sure. You know, it's cute. He's hanging out with the cat. He's having a good time with his pet cat that he just found. It's cute.
Innocent as fuck. It's a cat, yeah.
If you think about it, it winds up not being cute. So if you don't think about it, having a good time.
Yeah, it's more when it comes to like if you think about it, it is more on her. It's absolutely her fault that it is weird because
it's so weird. She's such a weirdo.
Because she's going to his house, pretending to be this cat, letting her get petted by him and like sleep on his lap, and it's just like, and then it's not super creepy until we get shots where like it'll zoom out and he's sitting there with the cat in his lap, and like it kind of we get a different shot where it's now like her in her human form, like sitting on his lap, and I go,
because that's how she feels about it. So
yeah,
she's imagining, you know.
Yeah, so it's like, this is something. I mean, believe me, if I could turn into a cat, you know, and go on sit on people's laps, I wouldn't do it. I think that's wrong. That's our stance. It's wrong podcast stance. It's wrong.
So she's been hanging out with she's been hanging out with him, and each time that she like goes home and like returns to her normal form, she keeps running into the mask salesman that's this giant, fat, weird cat that's sometimes more cat-like and other times more human-like, and sometimes just kind of like a weird, goofy Totoro-ass spirit type thing, right?
When he came up, I was like, Sierra's like, is this like low-budget Totoro? I was like, fucking, I don't know. Yes.
It feels a little bit like that. But yeah, he's got this head that's smaller than his neck, and he's super fat and fits in these tiny little pipes and does weird teleportation. He's a weird kind of mischievous spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so he always goes up and he's like, hey, cat life's pretty good, huh? You want to give me your face? And she's like, no.
Nah.
Cat life's not that great, dude. It just gets me close to this guy. I have a plan, and then I'm going to stop being a cat. Once I tell him, I don't have to be a cat anymore. Mm-hmm. And then she keeps not telling him, and eventually she decides, because she gets in a big ol' fight with her stepmom and is feeling extra emotional because she just had all of her feelings towards this character admitted in class. She winds up going to the cat guy and essentially saying, hey, yeah, I want to be a cat.
Mm-hmm. So she gives up her human face. He takes it, and then he's like, cool, you're a cat forever. And then I don't want to spoil it too much.
You know, well, but here's the thing with this. Like, at this point, this is to where it gets to spoilers. I feel like everything else, if you know a story, like from the start, she could turn into a cat. And then they essentially say, eventually you can like become just a cat forever if you want. And then I get your old face who you used to be.
Yeah, promise that. Yeah.
Well, you could assume what's going to happen. She's going to get it. And then we're going to do some Little Mermaid shit.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely. She's going to be like, oh, I fucking regret it. And I go, I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie 1,000 times.
Yep.
Or at least this story. Like this, it's something new.
And I think that's why we have our feelings about it, where it's good, but it feels like it's kind of just for family, and it's not as good as...
It's good, and I feel like 26-year-old, me would be like, cool. If I were like, I don't know, 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, I'd be like, this is really good. This is like... so fucking awesome, Oh,
dude, if I was a 10-year-old, I would be so into this movie. I'd be like, everyone needs to see it. I don't understand. It's cool. Look at this magical cat thing.
He turned into a cat, yeah.
They get to turn into it. It's like Majora's Mask, but it's cool because it's romance and it's different.
Yeah, and then if you're even older than that, like say you're like, I don't know, like 12, 13
range. 14,
range,
whatever.
You're just like, oh my God, they're in love, and she has feelings, and I have feelings for someone, and I can relate, kind of stuff. But I'm a grown man, and I'm just like, I get the outline of the story pretty well, and I feel like I know what's going to happen. And if I had a family, maybe this would be a cool family movie to watch with them. But as it stands, I don't have a family, so I'm watching it with my wife, who is sleeping on the couch because she's exhausted. I'm just like, okay, I'm in it alone, boys. That being said, it's not bad. Like visually, it has some really solid animation.
This movie was good. I think that it totally has a place to come out and exist right now. Mm-hmm. Like, it is very of this time, but also a little bit timeless because it's the story that's gone on again and again. But this is a fresh take on stuff.
It's a different take, right? It's like a different spin on it, right? And I feel like as soon as I started watching, I was like, you would get hints and like vibes of like other things. I was like, ooh, this is giving me like you said, the creature looked very Totoro-y. I was just like, oh, this is giving me like Ghibli bits. Like this feels kind of Spirited Away at points. And then it's like, this is a lot of like, the Cat's Returns.
This took a lot of inspiration from other things.
From a lot of places, yeah. All that being said, all those other movies are better than this movie. Like, I can go back and watch Totoro. I can go back and watch The Cat's Return. I can go back and watch Spirited Away and be like, yeah, that is still timeless and still killer. But sometimes, it's like something on Netflix you can watch with the family. Not dubbed, though. That's surprising to me. Because Netflix does such a good job of dubbing things.
But for the most part, brand new, and they had the rights for it, so they're all good. And it'll probably come out with a dub pretty soon. But like Kakegurui season 2 or whatever didn't have a dub, right?
I don't think so.
Dorohedoro had a dub though.
It did, yeah. No, I think it's just not that their dubs are solid, like as in like quality wise. I'm just saying like usually Netflix does a good job of knowing their audience
a dub right away
and being like, let's put a dub out there because people are going to want to watch in English. I wanted a dub because I was like, I don't want to fucking pay attention. But I didn't get a dub.
Been a good one to be dubbed.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be playful. I don't think the parts are hard enough to cast. You get like few
That's
teenagers.
Kind of the way I'm feeling. Like you could have some nobodies play it. You could also have some like recognizable names play it. And I feel like you would have good movies either way.
I think if you get like a really good voice actor for the mask salesman, like you're set. Like, fucking nailed.
Good main character, good mask. That's it.
Yeah, if you fucking generic ass boyfriend, basic friend, parents, fucking, you could use the same parent for all of them. Like use the mom for all of them. Like and nothing would matter too much because, like we said, there are movies that are better than this that told the story better. That doesn't mean this is bad. That just means that like it's. You said it best, I think. You said, it feels like this is something we watched, and we're like, hey, it's good, but it is pretty forgettable. Like, a year from now, I'm going to be like, we watched that, and then that's probably all there really is to it. There wasn't any, like, super standout moments that, like, are going to stick with me. Like, one of my favorite moments is her jumping off, I think it's a second-story window into a tree.
It's off of a bridge between connecting the buildings, yeah.
And she jumps off the bridge into a tree and then on the ground. And I'm just like, that's pretty cool, but I'm going to forget that.
It's good, yeah. No, there's a lot of things in it that were done really well, but not super memorable.
Yeah.
What's the name of that movie that we always thought was a silent voice about the girl that can't sing because her tummy hurts and there's the egg?
Oh, fucking Christ, dude. Hold on, I'm going to look
Something
it up.
About a heart, right?
Rhythm of the
Rhythm of the Heart, I think.
Rhythm
something
of the Heart?
like that.
I'll look it up. Anyways. But yeah, you mean a silent voice?
So that movie, for example, we don't remember the name of it. It was better than this one. It felt like it was a very unique new story. It had some weird stuff going on.
Anthem of the Heart.
Anthem of the Heart. Hell yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So Anthem of the Heart had some very unique things about it, but that's also a movie that I wouldn't go out of my way to recommend to anyone.
No.
It was good, but it was better than this one, but harder to find.
Yeah, so, and that's a really good example because yes, we did watch the movie. Yes, we enjoyed it for what it was.
Yes, we did forget about it.
But did we forget the name? Yeah, we forgot the name. And do we remember every plot point? No.
I remember almost nothing. I remember that they went to this super sketchy ass crack house near the end.
Yeah, and she's just crying. She's just like, nah, no one likes me, blah. And she's just like,
but
hey,
then
man,
they were gonna have sex or something.
I don't know, man.
In order to get over some shit. I don't know. That movie was good.
That's a good,
but forgettable. That movie was better than this one because it had those moments where you were like, "What's happening now?" This one never made me feel like, "What's happening?" This was just a very all right.
It was a love hotel that was shaped like a castle.
Yeah, it was a castle
that she found her dad at.
When she was a kid, she saw it and was like, beautiful castle, whimsical, playful, and then as she got older, all of the dreams and ways she saw the world disappeared, and she felt nervous about shit.
She saw her
because her parents were divorced.
She saw her unfaithful father leave that place, told her mom. That ruined the relationship. But it also caused her to be like, I can't speak because when I speak, I ruin things. So whenever she tries to talk, she gets nauseous. But she sings like a fucking
go watch
monster.
Anthem of the Heart if you want to watch a forgettable movie. A Whisker Away looks beautiful. It's free. It's on Netflix. It's really safe to watch with your family. You could watch it with your kids. You could watch it with your parents. This is a good family film.
It's very wholesome. It's an easy watch. There's like, I feel like there's no moments where I'm just like, oh, that's like, besides her sitting in his lap, which again, if you look at it through one lens, it's kind of cute. You know, it is very wholesome. It was PG and it was rated PG for fear, which I remember very clear. It was fear. Isn't that strange? I've never fear and then something else. Oh, I'm not going to say smoking. Even though smoking is like my go-to.
It's a pretty common one. There was no smoking in this though.
Yeah. But I like we said, like
there was like a fight scene.
Yeah, so but the fight scenes were very, very cartoony, right?
Yeah,
it was
all of it is like very G-rated type shit.
Very like dogpile-y, you know, kind of stuff. I just want to say that like
romance? I think the mischief.
I'm still looking it up. I just want to say like I think the big issue is that like, it just doesn't. It's not very memorable. Like it has good things in it, but nothing for me to be like, you know what, this is a must watch. It was good, and I understand Kate being like, hey, you should. She didn't tell us.
She did not tell. She just said it was good. I liked it, and I agree. It was good, and I liked it, but it was very middle of the road good. It's like the easiest good that you can be, and I think the animation carried it. Because if we didn't have that animation, I wouldn't give a fuck about this movie.
It was fear and smoking. PG. Maybe there's a cat that smokes at some point in like the cat world.
They went to like a fucking bar. Is smoking alcohol? Is that what it means?
Did someone? I can't remember anybody who like visibly smoked.
There was smoking.
Who smoked?
Big Ol' Cat had a pipe, right?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Big Ol' Cat also came out of a trash can at some point.
That's what I'm saying. He could have a big old puffy pipe. He was like a Cheshire cat combined with the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland.
I like that fear is now also a...
you know, if it's
like scary for kids, probably. That's like, hey, man.
That's kind of what it is, yeah. Because if you said like PG-13 fear, it would be like, yeah, it's PG-13 movie. A lot of horror movies are like this. But if it's PG, fear isn't necessarily an aspect. That being said, I watched way scarier PG things when I was a kid.
But I think that's just because of the time. Like, you know, things were like...
I had no idea.
People weren't as sticklers. Like, you know, what's the name of that? Not Are You Afraid of the Dark? Something about monsters under the bed. Don't Look Under the Bed or something like that. It was like a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah, okay.
That was pretty terrifying.
That one scared you?
Oh, yeah, dude. The fucking dude had fucking shark teeth and like big old red eyes.
Yeah, he was really goofy to me.
Well, and I just don't agree on what's spooky, I guess.
I guess, yeah, I don't know.
I think it's like the intro. The intro is very like, there's like a cat and like there's a bunch of shadows kind of like around her that are cat shaped, and it's like, I guess if a child watched that, they could get scared, you know. So like maybe that's them again. It's again Netflix, you know, protecting themselves, being like, hey, we told you there's fear in this. So
this isn't Netflix rated though. This is like
that was
whatever that society is.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think Netflix has to give it ratings. Like they're the ones that put the rating on it, right? And then they have to then get that approved. How does that work? Because on television and like on like movies, it goes to a second party. Like there's like a place where they get rated. My thought has always been that Netflix always rates things higher just to protect themselves. Like a lot of things get an MA rating just to not get in trouble. Dorohedoro absolutely deserve an MA rating. You know, like
B-stars,
that's one of the first times where it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, this deserves an MA. But I think I don't know. There's other shows I've watched where like they'll go MA and it goes smoking and like nudity, and I go, no one was ever naked at that point, and someone did smoke a cigarette. Why did that get an MA?
Well, it's interesting because they could do it episode by episode, but it's just the show as a whole is MA. So it's like eventually somebody's gonna take off a shirt, you know?
Yeah, so someone's gonna take a bath at a shower scene or something.
Yeah.
A
Whisker Away. Watch it if you want. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. it is. Watch it. You know, I'm not telling you to watch it like you have to, but if you do watch it, it's easy to watch, and it's good to watch with like if you have your little kids, younger kids. It's something to turn on. Oh, actually, I guess not good to watch with little kids because it doesn't have a dub unless they can read fucking English. You know, super big.
Kids got to be like 12 years old. It's not hard. It's a little bit more complicated. You know, whatever.
You don't know their levels.
11, 12, whatever.
I guess we'll get into spoilers, even though it's not much a spoiler.
I was pretty much done.
No, man, I got spoilers to say.
All right, let's talk about the spoiler part. Magical Cat World.
Okay, yeah, dude, Magical Cat World was pretty cool. Okay,
I'm gonna say that was pretty cool.
That was like the vibes where I was like, oh man, we're in it now. That's huge.
That was the most Spirited Away shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the designs. There's the cat that was like really big and had like I think it was like a Hawaiian shirt with like fishes on it or something like that. And he's just like, hey, are you a human cat hybrid thing? And she goes like, yeah. I was like, yeah, come with me. And like they takes him to the bar and it's like, and they're just like, yeah, we all used to be humans, but now we're cats. And they're like, how do you feel about it? And the guy's like, I hate it. Someone's like, I love it. And people are like, I don't fucking know. We're cats. Who the fuck cares?
It was interesting. Yeah, I like that. What I really liked in the bar is that they're all drinking from these mugs and cups and whatever. But each of them have like specific things. Like they'll have a rope that they could put their paw in order to safely get their beer. Or they'll have a little cup and they're able to put their paw in and it has a hook instead of a handle. So it just hooks on and they can make sure that it's all good. Those kinds of details where I'm like, all right, so yeah, cats would need to figure this shit out. Sure.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because at points I was like, when do the cats become humanoid? Because when they're in the cat world, they do stand up, hind legs kind of propped up. And we see the cat that's like her stepmom's cat takes her face and then gives it back when she goes to the real world. And
that's the whole thing.
And she's all humanoid-y and I go, yo, why aren't you a normal cat? Well, what's the deal? I don't fucking get it. But then I was like, doesn't matter. Fucking who cares? It's just a dumb movie. One of my favorite scenes, double shoe toss. Good toss. Okay.
It was incredible. Yeah.
She's the main character is a child and she's being picked on by other kids because her mom abandoned her. So her friend was like being kind of taken away, stolen. Yeah. And she's just like, she's not gonna hang out with you anymore because you don't have a mom and no one loves you, which is a really fucked up thing to say to somebody.
Kids are mean. That felt real.
And in true main character fashion, at least this main character, she removes both her shoes and she fucking runs full speed at them and double chucks the shoes at their face and hits them. And they're like crying, like, why would you do that? I'm like, because you're fucking demons. You're little monsters. How can you say that?
They're horrible little children.
And then she runs away crying, and her friend grabs her shoes and like runs after her and chases after her, and like they go down the pier, and she comes back at the pier. Like that felt really good. I was like, this feels really authentic. This feels like a very like child-esque thing. It gave me big vibes of like the what's it called? Your Lie in April. There's a scene where when they're children and they're on the beach and they're running and walking and stuff, and I go, oh man, anime kids are the best. Like little kids, fucking adorable.
Yeah, man.
Anime kids, like anime food.
Whenever they're hanging out inside of a little like fort or whatever, and then they coerce one person to say how they feel about another person.
Oh,
and it winds up being a large fight, and then one of them falls into a river and dies. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
What are you doing, you fucking son of a bitch? You really got me.
It was more or less.
I didn't know what you were talking about. I was like, is he talking about Erase? Because I also like Erase, and I was like. Fucking Anohana killing me out of nowhere. No, yeah, but that like we were saying, like they did a good job of, even though they're middle school, when they ever did the flashbacks to being younger, I was like, no, that feels real. It feels authentic. That feels very Anohana. Not as good as Anohana because we're not gonna cry at this dumb movie, but it was good. And I can see, I can see where I got all its inspiration from, and yeah.
Did you watch Anohana?
Yeah. Did you watch the end credits? Like, did you watch it all the way through?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's the last fucking scene? What's the last bit then?
I honestly don't remember. I remember there being like, it was a lot of text would pop up. So it was the silent, like a song is playing, text would pop up and these characters interact in different ways. I don't remember the last one.
Because I really liked the
Oh, it was cute. It was very... I think this was the end thing, right? Where it was the two friends that had a...
That was one of them. That's why I'm saying... Okay, but
I don't remember.
You don't remember. What a bad fucking anime host.
All I'm saying is this shit's forgettable, dude.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I really like the end credits because, you know, the credits roll, the music starts playing, and then they start, like, showing us life after everything gets resolved, right? And it's, like, it's done in, like, manga form, kind of, like, where it's, like, panels... and animation happens in them, but no one's actually speaking. It's like the dialogue is all written, and it's only dialogue for whoever the person that's getting the resolution is. So there's times where she's talking to her friend is talking to her, but you don't hear her talk. You just hear her friend say stuff, and it just and I go, oh, this is cool. This is interesting. It's a fun take. Then bit was like we get to see his fucking his plate that he fucking put in the kiln.
Oh, with the paw print.
Yeah. By the way, our boy's he's a sexy, you know,
he's
fucking
a pottery master, whatever.
Yeah, pottery boy, which is, it's not as good as making violins, but that's pretty top tier. And I'll tell you something. I paused the scene where he's talking about his studio being closed down, his grandpa's studio being closed down.
Yeah.
I recognized all the equipment in there because I did my my pottery class. I was like, man, I know what that does. I know what that does. I'm not sure what that does, but I'm pretty sure it does this. It just might be different in Japan, kind of thing. Yeah, I liked a lot of parts of this as a whole. Meh, kind of thing. Right? That's kind of the gist of it.
Pretty much. The last shot was just that one piece, the red plate bowl, whatever you want to call it.
And she had a little cat paw print on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna always stay with me. Just like the prince with the giant egg head from Anthem of the Heart. That was my favorite bit. You know, the guy comes out with this fucking giant
it was like,
dome.
the fuck is that? It was great. Yeah, the whole thing was a giant play. I remember that movie a lot better than I gave myself credit for. But
yeah, we did. All right, guys. I think that's it. I think that's whatever the name of this movie was. I already forgot.
Oh, Whisker Away.
Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing next week? I already forgot. It's not B&A. Is it wrap up?
I think it's wrap up and then B&A and then maybe not B&A yet. We might be doing Anime Expo
something
Light.
else, yeah.
Or maybe we'll just record the Anime Expo Light episode and just throw it out like the day after.
Whenever. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. If you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud and YouTube. Trip, where can we find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Answer On Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Answer On Podcast. If you want to tweet at us, tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
Podcast didn't fit.
And you could shoot us an email, instagrampodcast@gmail.com. We're always looking for more suggestions for those slow moments where there's not a lot coming out. And we want to be able to, interact with you guys and tell you some cool things about your shows that you like the most. If you ever want to tune in to us while we're recording the podcast, get a little bit of before, a little bit of after, go to twitch.tv/Crispather because we stream it now. So yeah.
Usually Tuesday nights, sometime after 7:30. We've been kind of going on then.
Fluctuates between 8 and 8:30 usually. Sometime between there is when we start.
You know, it would be sooner today, but fucking Kate showed up late to watching Avatar The Last Airbender.
Turns out she's got to be good at her job before we can do that. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening. It was a fun-ass time. Thanks for tuning in, Yeah,
it was a good time. I enjoyed it. And yeah, even though anime is starting to pick up again because studios are starting to do stuff again, we still like your recommendations, so send them our way.
All right.
Okay, this is bye from Juan.
I'll see you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.